Welcome to episode 31 of 22 Man Game with Jared and Dame. I'm Jared, that's Damon, and we are coming at you at 4:25 p.m. on a crisp, and by crisp I mean burning to a crisp, August afternoon. It is August 10th on a Monday. Damon, how's it going?
It's going. It's going all right. It's been like a month or something since we recorded, and we are like, "Don't worry, it'll be written nice and regular." And then it was a month. But that's just the off season, you know. It'll probably be more regular after this, with preseason officially having started Thursday with the Hall of Fame game. Um, been very active. Disc golf, blitzball, basketball. Me and you have played a little bit of, so we've been getting out there even in the 100-degree heat, but going early. Although I had to cancel our blitzball outing Sunday because I twisted my ankle when we played disc golf and refused to treat it correctly. So it just comes and goes. Um, but aside from that, can't complain. Summer teaching is over. This is teacher training week, which is not good. Not my favorite week. Just staring at the wall for 6 hours while people talk about things I already know how to do. Um, but that's how that goes. How about you, Mr. Jared?
I'm good. Last time we recorded, I revealed that I'd started a second job. I no longer work at that second job now, so what felt like a constant onslaught of responsibility for me is just a blip for our listenership, but uh really missed the opportunity to exercise this weekend. That said, I wasn't motivated to go out myself. I've been playing Fire Emblem Three Houses religiously. Thank you, Damon, for the pass along on that little ditty.
Even though the person on the gamer.com said it looks terrible. Oh my God, how can you still
Oh
play
my
this game? And
God, it's
it
so
looks like every
ugly.
Nintendo game ever, but whatever.
Um
I
yeah,
should I should mention Densha Attack. I haven't played Densha Attack. The game's really fun. Just throw that in there real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. I've been having fun with it. I'm playing on hard. I've had to restart a few times, but nothing too terrible. It's definitely a game that fits the Damon and Jared genre
Oh yeah.
preference. So I've been happy to have that going on. Getting ready to celebrate my girlfriend this week. Gonna go to Barton Springs tomorrow, perhaps.
Oh nice.
Yeah, a little Barty action. So that could be fun.
Still never
But
been.
see, I haven't either. So this will be my first trip around the sun.
Yeah.
And I am excited that it is something that she has enthusiasm about. So,
Someone's gonna
um,
dox you from the pod. They're gonna just wait at Barton Springs all day tomorrow. Just be
yeah.
waiting for Jared.
Well, that implies that we'll have uploaded this by the time
Oh,
I'll
it
have.
will. It'll be uploaded tomorrow morning, but the only person that will have listened to it is the person you'll be with. So, probably unlikely that somebody will have seen you.
Yeah, maybe I should drive and then I'll just, I'll put it on the radio and let her experience that. The radio, 1985. Anyway, enough yapping about various video games here. Let's get into some football news. Although I am curious, Damon, did you catch any of the Hall of Fame game?
Absolutely not. I saw a couple of highlights, like some good touchdown catches and passes from some, relatively no-named quarterbacks, Ricky Carson back, and then random pass catchers. It seemed like it was good, but with the preseason Hall of Fame game, that is pretty up in the air in terms of does that actually mean anything? But tell me what you saw.
Yeah, I only caught really the last full quarter of the game. I had something else going on at the time. Otherwise, I actually probably would have sat and watched the whole thing. Um, Not a ton to say from an football analysis perspective, but I will say we got um a really fun finish to the game with Panthers QB Haynes King diving over the goal
Hmm.
line to score a last second go ahead tutty for Carolina. And I think that's all you can really ask for the first preseason game of the year is just a little bit of action. I think the coaches script and make decisions to simulate certain tense moments of a game. And the nice thing about that is it typically means they're going to put their players in a position to maybe be making that 2 minute drill, going for it when they normally field goal, that type of thing. Um, so yeah, it was fun to have like a nice rah rah moment, last second touchdown. Feels good. What bearing does it have on week one? Probably not much. I the very little I saw of Kenny Pickett, I didn't have much to say about. He's Carolina's backup right now. And yeah, I'm
Yeah.
ready. I'm ready for my team's preseason to start because obviously I can put the Lions preseason roster in context of where the team's heading, and we have some injuries that actually make preseason pretty relevant for us. But we'll get into all of that later. First, do we want to start
Yeah.
with the sad news
I,
here at the top, Damon?
yeah, I will say too, for the Hall of Fame game, I don't know if it's always this way because I don't remember who has played in previous years, but Cardinals, Panthers, two Hall of Fame inductees, right? Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly. So that's cool. Because I remember like a couple of years ago, Josh Jacobs having like an insane Hall of Fame game, and he was like a starter because he was with the Raiders at the time, and I don't know if they had somebody getting inducted. So I don't know if they always do two teams that are having inductees. Um, but I liked that that was the case.
They should
So,
make that. I agree, and that should be
yeah.
the standard going forward. If that's not how they do it already, it should be how they do it going ahead because it gives you a little bit of stakes. You kind of get
Hmm.
the like, oh, who's gonna get the and I think it was a fun game on both sides. I don't think Larry Fitzgerald is crying on the flight home because
Right.
the Cardinals lost in the Hall of Fame game, but it gives you a little bit of a stake of even if you don't care about the two teams, maybe you prefer one of the Hall of Famers over another.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'll segue that, or I'll use as a segue, somebody that was there getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, former 49ers running back Roger Craig, during his Hall of Fame induction speech announced that he had dementia, which is obviously tough and one of those things that goes all over the place. So like it's not, it's not a cold where the symptoms are this, this, and this. There's a lot of different ways that it can kind of be presented. And obviously a very tough thing for him to deal with. So hopefully, wish nothing but the best for him and his family. But I wanted to do that one first since we were talking about those Hall of Fame inductees.
yeah, yeah, vascular dementia hits home quite a bit, and he did seem to suggest his doctors may think there was a link between his, any sort of head trauma he sustained during his career and the onset of the disease, but difficult to see, and kind of in a similar vein, another former running back, all-time great Packers running back, Ahman Green, revealed that he has Parkinson's disease, and this comes on the heels we talked about last time. Um, Chris Johnson announcing that he has as ALS. So
Hmm.
um, again, difficult to see another motor disease. I'll shout out Mike Tomlin when he made an appearance during the Hall of Fame game in the booth. He was wearing Titans jersey, and I thought, why on earth is Mike Tomlin repping the Titans? It was a Chris Johnson jersey. There's been a lot of an outpouring of support, which has been pretty cool to see.
Mike Tomlin, the GOAT. Do you know where Amon Green ranks on the all-time Packers rushing list?
Is number two?
Number one.
Number one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I honestly couldn't think of anyone above him, but I wanted to, be edgy and leave room. So, uh,
2003, Amon Green was electric.
yeah. I don't think I could have said the word electric out loud at that age in my personal development. So, wasn't really watching much, but I
I just got players' best fantasy seasons in my brain, so I know that. But he had like 390 points that season or something.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. This last one is just uh, terrible. Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy's wife was shot in their home by their son. She is okay. She's recovering, and I believe the son is in custody. But I mean, what a terrible moment. What a terrible story. I don't have a ton of the details personally. I don't know if you know more about maybe what precipitated it, whether it was accidental or intentional. But it seemed like, based on the police response, it was viewed as an
Yeah.
intentional act.
Yeah, in custody definitely implies intentional, and I think rightfully so. The Bieniemy family wants this relatively private, as I imagine anyone would. So not exactly going to talk about what's going on behind closed doors that led to this. And I think Eric Bieniemy just returned today to the Chiefs as he was
Yep.
away for a couple of weeks with that. So yeah, don't even know where to begin with that. That is a situation I wish no one to be in. Um, I'm glad she will be okay though. That's the most important part.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that um Bieniemy is stepping back in as OC is probably a good sign that the situation is stabilized to the point that he feels comfortable walking away. But heartbreaking, and yeah, really wishing the best for her, hoping they get justice and can move on.
And let's talk about where he was the OC before. In Washington, the Commanders, their tight end coach, Ben Steele, just hired this offseason, has already been fired after being arrested for a DUI. Unethical, unethical by Mr. Steele. Don't drive while under the influence. It is extremely dangerous. And there are many people all across the world who know people that have been involved in drunk driving incidents, a lot of times resulting in serious injury or death. Don't do it. It's stupid. The end.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I don't mean to undercut it by what I'm about to say. I am mildly surprised that an NFL team in 2026 would fire a coach over a DUI alone. And it's not
Hmm.
because a DUI isn't serious, but I feel like a
Well,
lot
we've
of
seen a lot
players,
of guys, yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of players with DUIs who end up with a multiple game suspension, but like, I mean, look no further than the guy
Domestic
that committed riots.
abuse,
Right. And
things that
so
are, yeah.
I I guess I just imagine that like DUIs are unfortunately a relatively common crime, and that doesn't mean they shouldn't be avoided, but I guess it catches my ear that this particular incident resulted in firing, and I mean, maybe that speaks to the character of the coaching staff, but um
I think there's three things. So I think one is, um, like you've already mentioned, DUI is relatively low on the list of crimes NFL personnel can commit that will get them in serious trouble. I think things two and three, too, tight end coach, like not that important. We could go ahead and you're not the best wide receiver on the team. Like we can go ahead and get rid of you and replace you relatively easily. And first year just got hired. So there's no sort of like he's not like in a part of the organization, part of their identity. There's no like support and people that are going to back him up because he just got there.
um I I partly agree. I do think on the one hand it's like, oh, they're new, they were clearly one of your top choices, but it probably makes sense, they're not leaning on him in a way. I do think tight end coaches are sneakily one of the most important positions in that room, because a lot of times the tight end is the coach who is kind of seeing the entire offense, because they have to think about the blocking and the receiving aspects of the offense.
Yeah,
Um, and a guy like, Ben Johnson coming from the tight end coach spot. So if anything, to me, the fact that it was a tight end coach in particular is like, oh, that was probably someone they had pegged as potentially up and coming as coach. But either way, I mean, I shouldn't come out and say that accountability is bad. I think it's probably better that more people are held accountable than fewer. And another person held accountable for the same act was Tony Romo, who will be placed on leave as a CBS analyst following a DUI he incurred while driving home from a golf tournament. JJ Watt stepping in for Romo in the time being while he's on leave. And I listening to Heed the Call, they made a great point. He can afford a driver. All of these people can afford drivers. It's silly that you are, you know, putting yourself in a position where you can even drive under the influence, because why are you really driving at all? Um,
body cam was goofy. It's on
he
YouTube. You
he
can
did
you
some
can
like
watch it.
silly. I feel like I saw a clip where he was like pretending to like run a play or something. I maybe
So
I'm making that up, but
it was so Tony Romo the whole time. He was just like, "What's that? All right, sounds good. Yeah, let's do that. He's he's like responding to Jim Nance in the DUI conversation. It was epic.
Yeah, I'll set aside commentary about whether I think this will be an improvement of the broadcast for now. Um, and just say that honestly, Tony Romo's I've never gotten the impression that he's like an evil or self-serving guy. I think he's, a bit of a silly guy, and so I actually do expect and hope that he will learn from this. Um, that said, how permanent, how long is he on leave? I don't know, but pretty interesting moment in the broadcast booth there.
I can't think of a lot of relevant like nothing comes to mind in terms of players with JJ Watt's defensive, impact in NFL history being like a commentator. It always feels like it's, quarterbacks and skill position players.
I'm
And
trying to think.
like even like I know Chris Collinsworth was like a receiver, um, which is kind of funny to think about. But like I can't like I'm sure there are like Ryan Clark. He was a defensive
Yeah.
player in the NFL for a little bit, but like no one that's like that level of like oh like that's a Hall of Fame level like defensive player.
Well, it's actually funny you mention a Hall of Fame level defensive player serving as an analyst because Netflix has announced that newly inducted Hall of Fame linebacker Luke Kuechly is
Oh,
going to be the lead analyst for NFL games on Netflix. So thank you for the
there we
literally
go.
wrapped in a bow, picture perfect tee up. Yeah, I can't think of too many other defensive, maybe some defensive coaches, right? Tony
Mm,
Dungy got a lot of time, and even then, this is typically,
yeah.
at the desk. Mike Tomlin now, Rex Ryan, but it seems like typically, yeah, offensive players, defensive coaches, and so for JJ, who in my experience has done a nice job, and I'm actually really interested to see Luke Kuechly, who I think is regarded as a very strong defensive mind, um, stepping into the booth, and I think it actually has real potential to diversify broadcasts. Like even if you're watching the B or C team for a game, if you're getting a different side of the ball's perspective than normal, I think that can add some variety, even if you're further down the broadcaster card. So
Yeah, that's fair. We'll see. We'll see what it's like and for how long it lasts. But that's all the unethical names we have. Let's talk about a couple ethical things or things we can regard as ethical here in this part podcast. Excuse me. Guardian Caps announced that Texans safety Jalen Petrie will be their first ever Guardian Caps signature athlete. So Petrie has rocked the cap for a couple years now, and they said that'll be our first guy, and maybe they'll have other guys. Which leads me to my trivia for you, Jared. Ding,
wow,
ding, ding,
okay.
ding, ding. My trivia for you, aside from Jalen Petrie, I have 20 other names of NFL players last season that regularly wore Guardian caps.
Oh, good Lord.
And I wonder how many of those names you can name. I thought about this because when I saw Jalen Petrie, there was one name that came to mind that I was like, that's the Guardian Cap guy. Why isn't it that guy? Um, and then I was like, how many people do wear? And it was kind of hard to find like there's not a easy list of statistics on people that just wear Guardian caps regularly. So I think the sample I have is from the official like Guardian Cap article. They released in the middle of last season. So if people picked up the Guardian Cap late, they might not make the list. But I got 21 names, and of course Jalen Petrie is already one of them. I lied. I have 25 names. So Jalen Petrie is one of them. So 24 other names. And I'll let you get some guesses off, but then as I scroll through, I can start throwing some positions and some teams and things like that because I don't expect that you'll know a lot of these people.
Yeah, there is a low probability. Now, is the player you were thinking of, was it because it's a Packers receiver? Is it Romeo Dobbs? Is he the guy?
Romeo Dobbs is the player that I was thinking of. I was like, this must be the Guardian Cap signature athlete.
He is like
Um,
the guy. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Because he had
because
the
he's
Guardian leather, and that was a big part
yeah,
of our conversation, I think.
because they it's I thought it was longer than this. Guardian Caps have only been in the NFL for like 3 seasons.
Hmm.
So it's a relatively new thing. But Romeo Dobbs, he's been wearing it for a long, long time. Is there any other name that comes to your mind? It's okay if
I'm
not,
I'm
because
trying to think team by team. I'm trying to
I'm
because
looking.
like who regularly wear it. So because I'll be honest, I imagine it's probably a number of bottom of the roster guys for a lot of these teams. Um,
Yeah, there's some names on here that I do not recognize.
boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think on average, if I had to guess, where would I see a Guardian Cap? My brain is immediately going to like offensive linemen.
There's a good amount of linemen on this list. Good, mostly offensive linemen. Yeah, I'm trying. I don't even know if there is a single defensive lineman. No, there's a lot. Oh, there's one defensive lineman, a name I don't recognize. Um,
This
Here,
is gonna be
I will tell you this: the Rams have two players that on their offensive line that wore Guardian caps all season.
now I have to be able to name offensive linemen for the Rams.
I believe one of them was named as an unethical baller at some point in the
Yeah, it's
history of our podcast.
I was thinking it's Alaric Jackson. Is that one of
Alaric
them?
Jackson is one of them.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm trying to. I might just start naming Rams offensive linemen.
Yeah,
They've got is Steve Avila their center?
who knows? I don't know. Not the
He's
guy
not
in the
on the
article.
list. Maybe
It
Joe
is a guard.
Noteboom.
It is a guard, if that's helpful.
Not Noteboom.
Nope. He
He
wears
might be
number
a tackle.
69.
Last year, and this is okay. 69 for the Rams.
His initials are the same as the Houston Rockets' best player at the moment.
That could mean multiple things depending on how washed you think KD is. I assume it's
It's
KD.
Kevin Durant. He's still our best player.
Did you know this guard by name? Like when you saw the name, you're
No,
like, oh,
no, no.
Kevin Dotson?
Yes, it is Kevin
Okay, there we
Dodson.
go. There we go.
There you go. I will give you this is a name I recognize. I don't know if I could have told you this player was on the Steelers. Um, but it's a safety that I feel like I know from I want to say the Browns and the Giants.
Oh, God, was it the former Michigan guy who's
It
got
is
like,
sure is a former Michigan guy. I know he went to Michigan. I don't know why I know that, but I do.
he's not like when I think Brown safety, but Grant Delpit went to LSU, but I'll throw the name out there just in case. Oh, like I can picture him. He was like a top of the second round guy or something. Oh, oh, I know.
Same initials as a former coworker of yours and still coworker of mine who goes by their initials.
Oh, oh, but it's not Jalen Petrie, which would be helpful. Um,
Same initials as Jalen Petrie, yes.
oh, because he's like,
His last name is a food.
it's probably not pizza.
Probably not pizza. A
The
spicy
P
food.
is spicy food, pepper. Oh, Jabril Peppers, Jabril Peppers. Okay,
Mm.
okay. I was
There it
like,
is. There it is.
he's
We
a
got there.
hard-hitting downhill safety for the Wolverines, but I cannot remember his name. That's
There
really
you go.
funny.
Um, I believe next player I'll give you offensive lineman for the Bucks that I think got paid relatively recently. I feel like we talked about him getting
Oh,
paid.
their their left tackle's really good.
On here it
Um,
says he's their right tackle, but maybe he's their left tackle. Who
or
knows?
maybe I'm mistaken. It's this is embarrassing because like I legitimately know all these players' names. I'm like,
Offensive line would have me so stumped. I would
oh,
have no
is
clue.
it Tristan Wirfs?
It's not Tristan Wirfs. That's their left tackle. That's really good. Yeah.
Fa. Does it
Is a
start with
white
a
guy.
D?
No.
Oh,
Starts with an L.
Landon,
No.
their
His last
right
name is kind of
tackle.
funny. I don't know. His I'll give you his first. I'll just give you his first name. His first name is Luke.
Oh, is it Luke Gadecki or something?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say Gedeke, but I could be wrong. Um, who knows?
Luke
That's one of
G.
them. Yeah, Luke G. There's another Packers receiver that I know by name, but he's pretty
My
low.
gut, is there a guy like my brain is saying like Savion Williams? I don't
It
even think
is
he's a
Savion Williams.
my brain immediately went to say I don't know why. I was like I
It's
thought
like not
immediately
Watson, not Reed, not
like
like
Romeo literally when you said I was like the guy, Romeo Dobbs, and then in the back of my brain, Savion Williams.
yeah.
So funny.
I'll give
Okay.
you a white Falcons linebacker whose
A
first name
white
that he goes by is just two letters. Just looks like initials, probably.
white Falcons linebacker.
Not a name that I recognize. So
I is there like like a KP Coleman or I don't know, some like random looking name? What a
it's JD. Does that ring any bells at
I
all?
was thinking it might be it's JD. If it's not JD Coleman, I don't know. I feel like it's got to be a Coleman.
It's JD Bertrand. Not
Oh, the guy who
yeah.
wears the Guardian cap.
Yeah, right. Some of these I'm like, yeah, if you don't know, we're just gonna,
I
make it kind of
remember him
quick.
from that article you read. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. uh, Miami Dolphins guard, uh, initials JD, Rainy Bells.
Wait, JD Miami Dolphins guard. Oof. I God, is he start? I mean, name a starting, you know,
Yeah,
Dolphins O lineman. I could,
yeah.
but it's John.
We're already wrong.
John.
That's okay.
Okay, J
James. It's James.
James. My first thought was James Dolan. I don't think I got this one.
James. And then think about alcohol. That's also JD.
I don't drink. James
James
Daiquiri?
Daniels.
Oh,
Daniels. Jack Daniels. Fool.
Daiquiri was
Um,
funny.
yeah, that was good. This one I think you can get. This was
Okay.
like a second, third string Bears running back.
Oh, Commandant guy?
Not Kylan guy. He's been there for longer than that.
Oh, so it's DeAndre Swift is not it.
Not
Co
Swift.
Commandant guy.
It's like a guy that's been there for a couple years, but he's never really been the guy. But I know his
No,
name.
God, I know. Was he like a sneaky sixth round pick, like kind of under the radar type?
Not Khalil Herbert, if that's what you're thinking of.
Oh, well, I mean,
Because I
good
think he was a
Lord.
sixth round pick.
If it's not Khalil
Um,
Herbert, can you give me like an initial?
Initials are RJ, fourth round pick in
RJ?
2023. Yeah.
Royce Johnson?
Johnson is the last name.
Ryan Johnson? I don't know.
Roshan. Roshan
Oh,
Johnson.
what? Roshan Johnson. Okay, fine.
It's like sort of gettable. Just because
This
fantasy
is
probably.
my trivia is much, I think, more fair and reasonable than like,
Uh,
can you name the
uh,
25 third stringers wearing the cap? But that's
uh,
okay. You're stretching
hey,
me.
this is. I was just curious. I was like, who do we
I could have
not?
gotten James Daniels, to be fair. A few of these I will own.
The list
Um,
is. I mean, the list is low. I think part of the trivia is like, wow, this is a small list. I didn't realize it was this small.
that's fair. Yeah.
Less
Yeah, yeah,
than the
yeah.
amount of teams in the NFL. It's like kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
that's a little
Um,
sad. Yeah, and two of them are Rams. So
Miami Dolphins white offensive lineman doesn't
that's
even give a
not named
position.
James
Just
Daniels.
that's not named. James Daniels is black, so it is not James Daniels.
Austin.
That's a great first name. Initials are CS.
Oh man, dang it! Because Cole Strange was there last year, but
It
that's
is Cole
not.
Strange. It is Cole Strange because this list is from last year.
You said CH.
Did I?
Yeah.
I meant CS. Um, good
Oh, that's
job.
right. It is last year. Oh, Cole Strange. Okay, there we go. I'll take that one.
Miami Dolphins receiver. Who I feel like I remember from the Cowboys mostly. Kind of always a third, fourth string guy.
By the way, did you ever see Sean McVay reacting to the Patriots taking Cole Strange in the first round? That's like an
No.
iconic
Oh,
clip.
oh, is that where they like tell him in the ear and he's like, "What?" He's like he like freaks out.
He was like, yeah, he was at the top of our board in the fourth round. Um,
I feel like I do remember like seeing the clip and not knowing who it was about.
Miami Dolphins receiver you most remember for their time on the Cowboys.
I gotta make sure I'm right about that.
I
His initials are CW.
CW Cedric Williams.
Oh, Cedric is the first name. Oh,
Cedric
we're
Wilson.
cooking.
Cedric
Cedric
Wilson. Sorry.
Wilson.
The reason I
Yes,
know
yes.
this one, I think he's currently in Lions training camp. So
Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, he was in the Cowboys for 3 years, then the Dolphins for two. Then I guess he went to the Saints for a year, and then he was back in the Dolphins. Don't know this name at all. Falcons linebacker RH, number 36, African American.
I mean, what?
It's Ronnie Harrison.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's why I'm speeding through the ones that I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, okay, this is a name you know for sure.
Yep.
Talking about a Bills safety.
Oh, I was wondering if it has to be DeMar Hamlin, right?
It is not DeMar Hamlin.
Is it Bill Safety, you said?
He is white.
No, I knew it. It's that Cole guy. I think his first name is Cole something. He's got a Cole energy to his name. What are the initials?
He looks TR.
TR.
Yeah.
TR.
I would be surprised if you didn't know this name at the very least.
It's like, is the last name like Roth or something? Like short?
It is short. It is short. It's a genre of music.
Oh, Taylor Rapp. Taylor Rapp.
There it is. Taylor Rapp.
Yeah, TR.
Uh,
I'll be honest. Maybe the actually I won't say that on a microphone. Never mind.
got it. Jalen Petrie already talked about. This is in the guy. Now we're getting into some names that there's some names that I'm like no idea. Linebacker number 5, Cardinals initials BB.
Wait. Like my brain is going in the like Barrios type territory for the last name. Is that anywhere?
Nope.
Like I could just
But
start
his
throwing out random names,
here,
but
here, this will be fun. Last name's a color and a suffix. First name is like an old title,
um an old title.
like a nobility title,
So last name Brown.
and a suffix.
Brown Brown Brownson? Like
I don't
Brown?
know if suffix is the right word, but World War II machine gun. Does that help you?
Is it Barrett Browning? Or
Baron
Baron
Browning.
Browning? Baron Browning.
Yeah.
Baron. Okay, Baron Browning. Okay, yeah. That is a suffix. Yeah, yeah.
Not a great not a great name that I was gonna know, but a fun name.
Yeah, it's I've heard the name before. I just, my familiarity with the Cardinals LB core is the weakness of my football analysis.
I got a Rams receiver number 19, literally a name I've never heard in my whole life. Um,
No, ooh,
do you
because
want initials?
no, give me a second. I think I like sneaky have a chance of knowing this. Number 19, you said?
Hmm.
Um, because they had to get pretty deep into their receiving core. Is it a guy like Sean? Is Sean Coleman? Is that a guy? Is that not his name? No. People are gonna listen to this. First off, people are gonna listen to this, and then they're gonna hear these guesses and go like, "Who are you thinking you're talking about?" It's not like Terrence Ferguson because he's the tight end.
No.
Sorry to judge your ball
Was he
knowledge.
on
I
the
know that was
Rams last year?
yeah. He
I
was
thought
a Rams second round rookie, I think.
who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of a guy with a similar name on the Panthers. I don't remember what his name is. Um,
Tommy Toon
Tommy Tremble.
or Tommy Tremble.
Maybe it's Tommy Tremble. I don't know. Who
Sorry,
knows? Who cares?
sorry to judge your ball knowledge. I should have trusted that you know Terrence Ferguson's tight end. Can you give me the initials for
Well,
this
I'm
guy?
reading the position straight from the website. So,
Oh,
um,
I don't know if Guardian Cap is up on
fair.
13 personnel.
The initials are XS.
Well, there's only so many X's.
There's only so many,
I feel like
and we only know one.
it's got to be an Xavier, right?
It's an
Xavier
Xavier, and then it's the most common name in America.
Xavier Smith.
Xavier Smith. Never heard of
Wow, we're
him.
giving new meaning to
I
X receiver.
I told you. I was like, I don't know. Okay, here's a name that I think you get a shot on. We're talking. I'll start you with Vikings offensive lineman,
Vikings offensive lineman.
and then I can narrow the position further if you want me to.
Well, they remade their line last
Well,
year. Um, because they
because
took
it's a name
this.
I know, and if it's a name I know, I feel like you definitely know. Now, would I know this player's on this team? Maybe not, but it's like a name, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Because they did they have like at center.
Ding,
They
ding,
had like,
ding. Correct position.
is it Bozeman, like Bradley Bozeman or something like that?
Nope.
Who'd they? I know they signed a big center. It was oh, they signed. Who'd they sign him from? Because he was a new guy, I swear. Oh, I can
Let's
like
see.
envision our free
Let's
agency
see. Let's
discussions
see.
last year.
Let's see how long this guy's been a Viking. Yep, he was signed from the Colts.
He
He was in the
was a
Colts.
Colt. See, I was okay. Quentin Nelson's
A
a
guard.
guard.
Yeah.
Can you give me the initials?
R K.
Oh, Ryan Kelly.
Ryan
Dumb.
Kelly. There it is. See, I knew you knew that one. I knew you knew that one. Here's another name I don't know, so good luck. Very strange name. Commanders linebacker, number 51, initials AK.
AK. Man, imagine if he had a different jersey number.
Shout out
AK?
Andre Karolinko.
Is that who it is? That would be
No,
helpful.
Andre Karolinko is an NBA player in the thousands for the Jazz were 47. Yeah.
That's what I. Oh, well, that's. See, okay, they
Yeah.
had AK. I mean,
And
I
he
don't
was
know.
Russian, so um
Is there any other identifying information about this player besides their name?
I don't know anything about I don't know if I've ever seen this name. So
That Aaron Kelly.
it's Ali Cajo. Cajo? Ali Cajo?
I'm flipping my desk. There's
Yeah.
no shot.
We only have a couple more. I know I'm bogging you down, trying to get through it.
No,
But
it's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
I do want to paint a small light on these players that are taking
No,
the correct approach, I think, to being on the field.
no, I think it's a fun category. I think it's a lot of unfortunately a lot of guys who aren't spotlight guys, you know.
Yeah. I just read a name and I thought it was a 2010s Broncos running back, but it's not. It is a it is an Atlanta Falcons corner who used to be on the Jags and the Panthers. Um, for reference, the guy I thought that it was C.J. Anderson. This name
Uh,
is close.
is it like C.J. Anderson? You said was close. C.J. Henderson,
C.J. Henderson. There you go. There you go. There you
former
go.
top 10 pick, I believe.
Yep, ninth overall. All right, we got a defensive lineman on the Bears, number 90, initials DR.
Um, is going to be Dio Odeyingbo, right?
Nope,
Or Dario Ngumbawale then?
nope.
No, David.
Isn't Dare Ogunbowale a running back?
Yeah, I don't know. I named it Dio. I know there's a guy because I think the guy might have.
DR, DR, DR.
She just gave me a different acronym. Okay.
I definitely said DR, I think.
I can't wait to listen. This is an episode I'll be listening to. I gotta see. DR.
Yeah, correct.
Um, because like,
Been with the Bears all 4 years of his career.
oh, okay, that's helpful.
and he has a career total of 68 tackles.
Is it like Devin Robichaux or some name like that? Robichaux?
No,
No?
no, that's a good guess. It's Dominique
Robinson?
Robinson. Yeah, there you go. I w
Picking
not a
our
name I would
last
have
name out
pulled.
of a hat. Probably going to be Robinson.
Linebacker, Ravens, number 57, initials WK.
WK? Man, these guys, Willie Keys? I don't know.
It's Willie is his first name, William. Um,
William,
his
not Willie
career,
Keys, huh?
well, his career, he played 6 games with the Vikings in 2022, 2 games with the Ravens in 2024, and 1 game with the Ravens in 2025. So, not expecting you to know this one. Career total of 6 tackles. So he's not out there very often.
Great. What's his last name then? I'm not going to guess.
Quinn Q Kwenkeu.
Yeah,
Yep.
cool. I
Yep.
believe it.
Yep.
You know,
Uh,
we're gonna do another round of field goal. It was gonna be the top X in a category. I may just say bottom, just to force you to think of the most random names.
fair. Last time you introduced field goal, I had Lions draft picks for you. I'm varying
No, that one was
difficulties here.
very easy peasy for me. So, are there any
uh,
more names?
you're like, please let this in. I got 4 more. Cardinals
Okay.
corner number 30, initials DH, was on the Falcons for 2 years as well. This guy actually plays. I'm looking at his
Um,
stats. I should have been looking at stats earlier to figure out if you had a chance of guessing them.
DH. I mean, listen, it's probably Darvin Ham, right? That would be my guess. Lakers
Good
legend,
guess.
Darvin Ham. I just have to show some sort of ball knowledge as I slowly bleed out. Is it like, yeah, a DH?
Shares a last name with all-time Falcons and Commanders cornerback D'Angelo.
Hall.
There it is.
I wonder if it's his son or something.
Maybe. Could be.
Devin Hall.
Good guess. Darren. Um,
Same. Not to invalidate those two names,
ba
but
backup Packers tight end, number 81, initials JW. Feel like I've heard this name on the broadcast. Maybe I've heard this name from Gabe specifically. Feels like such a Gabe
oh,
name.
this is such a Gabe name.
Like I can picture him saying it to me.
Is his last name White?
No, but it does start with WH and then it has an I sound, but it's not an I.
Is it like we
Mm,
Or I'm trying to think. How do I get an I sound without an I?
a
Oh wait,
Y.
Josh Wiley. Josh Wiley.
Josh Wiley, there it is. Can't you picture Gabe just saying Josh Wiley too?
I
Um,
I can. I can.
for the listener, Gabe is our friend who is a fan of the Packers. Okay, we have a Patriot offensive lineman, initials JW. I have a sneaking suspicion you'll like his first name. Offensive line number
Jared
58
Wilson.
was a rookie last year. Yeah, there it is.
I
Uh,
think he was starting for them in the Super Bowl.
and then last one, a name that you know, I think, not Packers, Broncos receiver, young receiver, big receiver, that I feel like kind of got hot in the latter half of the season.
Wide receiver, young, big.
Let me
Not
just make sure I'm
Marvin.
not lying. Yeah, Marvin Mims is tiny.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He's tiny.
Okay,
Is it
he's
like
only 6'2", but I feel like he plays so big.
I
But
feel like
6'2"
there's a
is probably bigger
guy.
than like everybody else on the receiving core.
Can you give me initials?
PB. He was a rookie last year. So yeah, young guy.
Patrick,
Pat. Just Pat.
Pat Bryant.
Pat Bryant. Boom. Boom.
Wow.
Electric.
comment below
Um,
by lying and telling me you could have named 15 of those guys without help.
Now the point was it was going to be hard, but shout out guys that wear the helmet, even if they're not out there all that often. They're keeping it safe. So, uh, glad to see that, and hopefully that list can grow. So,
Yeah.
I think you did well, Jared. You did better than I would have done. That's for sure. I would have been like Romeo Dobbs, and then I'm not even sure if I would have said Jalen Petrie if he
I
wasn't
would
given in the prompt. So,
I mean if you had said Texans safety, I would have been like, "Oh, one of those is
yeah,
Jalen
yeah, yeah.
Petrie maybe, you know." James Daniels is the only one that I'm like, I actually probably could have gotten that. Anyway, let's move on from the Guardian Cap. And talk about some ethical behavior by Bill safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who paid off 20K of a medical staffer's student loans. Very nice thing for CJ GJ to do. Unfortunately, I believe he sustained a near season ending or season ending injury with the Bills in the last several weeks.
Yeah, that's why it happened. Is he was in the locker room and she was helping him with his injury.
Oh,
And
okay.
they were just like talking, and he was streaming, which he got in trouble for because they were like,
Oh,
"Stop streaming," and so it does lower the like nicety of it. It's like, "Oh, I'll do this on stream." Um, I think, but still, $20,000 didn't have to get. But they were just talking about like student loans, and she's only there for training camp, and he was like, "Oh, you're helping me out. I'll help you out. Here's this much money." And it was like, "Oh, okay." Like you don't have to do that, even if it's uh being streamed or whatever.
I think when 20K is a large enough sum that even if you're streaming for clout, it kind of is overridden by the fact that that is like a significant. Like if you were like, "Oh my God, you're so nice. Here's $1,000," I'd be like, "Oh, okay." But if it really came organically out of their conversation, seems like a pretty
And we've
considerable.
talked about him, but like he's had this, this reputation going from team to team to team the last couple of seasons. But I don't remember what team it was on. He did like something really nice for all the players in like one of the pregame things. He like brought them all gifts or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. So seems like he has this kind of reputation for trying to be a good locker room presence, despite how often he seems to be leaving teams.
To me, yeah, he seems like the kind of guy who values being a good teammate, but also values his right to sometimes behave on a bit of the fringes of locker room normative behavior. I don't know. I mean, listen, I'd rather he put more good in the world than not. So who am I to say? You
For sure. For sure.
know. On to the next, shall we? Let's talk Lions for a second. The Lions signed linebacker Devin White. Um, last with the Raiders, Super Bowl winner with Tampa. Probably past the prime of his career, although he did amass a massive number of tackles for a pretty decrepit Raiders defense last year.
174. That's a lot.
He actually had 174 tackles. That's insane. Is that the real
Yeah.
stat?
Yeah, it was like near the top of the league.
That's like 10. That's 10 a game. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. Good for him. I mean, you know, I think a really nice guy to bring in, real chance to make the roster. Another guy the Lions signed with a good chance to make the roster is quarterback Josh Dobbs, the Pastronaut,
Mm,
signed to replace a now retiring Teddy Bridgewater.
hmm
Off into the sunset for Teddy. Josh Dobbs with a pretty good shot at that backup spot. Although Luke Altmaier, our UDFA out of Illinois, has been playing pretty well, and I think we'll have a chance to legitimately compete to be QB2. One of the things I'll have eyes on when watching the Lions on Thursday,
Josh
if
Jobs,
I get to do it tonight,
legendary
I'll be working.
backup quarterback from the commercial where they talk about being a backup.
Yeah, I'm a Dobbs fan. I think he's a fun player. He's got an interesting presence, you know.
He's so bald. It's kind of awesome.
Yeah. I see my future in that shiny reflection. What can I say?
No, no. Let's talk about a reunion. 49ers signing Debo Samuel back to their roster, 1 year, $7 million deal. He said something like, "Yeah, it was going to happen eventually." But it wasn't that long, and I was kind of surprised. Like I know Debo is older. I know health has been a concern at points in his career. Um, but I thought he was actually like surprisingly good for the Commanders in his time there. So 1 year small deal. Granted, he's in NFL years on the latter half of his career. I was a little shocked that he didn't get more than that, or maybe he just wanted to be a 49er and was just taking what worked for their salary cap specifically. Um, but with all the Brandon Ayuk nonsense going on, who really also wants to be a commander, but who knows? Um, I guess they needed, and we'll talk about another receiver that they got injured for them. So they need some guys to throw the ball to that aren't Jawan Jennings, and now they have Debo again.
Yeah, bit of a gadgety guy, and I wonder if that somewhat limited his market. And I also wonder with how many young receivers come into the league now and make an impact, whether teams would prefer to sign a different free agent and then bring in young wideout talent with potentially higher upside. But I could also totally see Debo knowing he wanted to be a Niner and just kind of waiting until camp started, making sure no like bigger opportunities shook out. I think it's a good deal for them and a real value add, and a bit of a surprising team for the Commanders to let go, considering how gaping their hole was at wide receiver. Though, folks, it's been filled. Wide receiver Stephon Diggs has signed to a 1 year, $12 million deal with the Commanders, to which I say, okay.
Yeah, thought he was fine in his short Patriot stint. Of course, there's the air of ugh looming around him with the whole court case thing that did go in his favor, but it's one of those things that like once the court case happens, your reputation is kind of tarnished regardless of the outcome. So I feel like even though legally speaking he was cleared of wrongdoing, I think people will still kind of have feelings about that. Um, but yeah, they need someone alongside Terry that's gonna regularly do something, although another 1 year deal. And this also puts another damper on Brandon Ayuk trying to get out of San Francisco to go to the Commanders. This seems like the Commanders are like, we'll figure our stuff out, and maybe Brandon Ayuk will be a thing, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think the Commanders are wise not to bank on Ayuk. I think I'd be shocked if he suited up for a team again. Frankly, I think he's talking himself out of a career every time he goes on social media.
Hmm.
And for all that talent, it's not like we've seen him come off of his injury playing at a really high level. So
Right.
um, I think this is the right call for the Commanders. That said, and maybe this is in part because I'm not a huge fan of Stephon Diggs from a character point of view. I don't exactly have a mountain of I don't have a mountain of confidence that he's going to be the true needle mover that the Commanders might need behind Scary Terry at the wide receiver position.
Don't worry, they have Luke McCaffrey. He'll get it done. Um, actually, don't even know if he's still there, to be honest.
Luke McCaffrey, I do believe is there. I feel like he was a third round pick last year or the year before.
Yeah, yeah, that
Um,
makes sense. Let's talk about some extensions. Some people that are staying where they are. I'll do two and one here. Browns extended corner Denzel Ward to a 2 year, $62.2 million deal, and safety Grant Delpit to a 3 year, $48 million deal that includes $35 million guaranteed. These are two guys that I've always liked. I've always thought the Browns, despite their poor history and consistently bad record, I feel like they have been able to identify defensive talent successfully in drafts, and it has been the other side of the ball that is usually their downfall. So, um, I like both these guys. I don't know, if you gave me a list of all the corners and safeties and where their numbers are, would I be able to be like, yeah, that's enough for the seventh best safety in the league? No. But I think that they are good players. I think if there's no clear desire to move them like they did with Myles Garrett, then extending them makes sense, and maybe they trade them sometime down the line in their deal if they are going in the super rebuild direction.
Yeah, sorry. Forgive my moment of distraction. I do think the Browns have had a pretty consistently talented defense, and I'm partly of the mind, you can't evaluate the future of your team without certain areas having real stability, and this is one of them. And the fact that they made a move to bring in Jared Verse to replace Myles Garrett shows that they're still invested in the current structure of their defense. And these would be two, from a talent perspective, be two big pieces of that defense if it performs to expectation. So pretty understandable investment from Cleveland here.
Yep. Now tell me about the next person because I don't know a lot about them.
Yeah, the Dolphins have extended linebacker Jordan Brooks to a 3-year, $51.3 million deal with 35 million guaranteed. I was listening to Deontay Lee of The Ringer, who was making the point that this may very well be like, a 1-year 17 deal in disguise that the Dolphins then trade at some point, and that they signed
Hmm.
it in part for, like you gotta have guys. From my understanding, he's considered one of the top linebackers in the league, and this may even come in slightly below expected rate. And so um, you wonder maybe they are giving him this kind of deal now to get him some immediate money, but once their books open up in the next couple of years after they get off to his money, maybe they give him a more robust extension.
Now they just need to figure out the other 21 positions on their team, and they'll be good to go. Um, let's
Yeah.
talk about a slew. I'll pair them here because I think that I personally can't speak on how good each of these individual players on, with maybe the exception of one of them, and I feel like I hear is good, but I don't know, obviously. Um, Bills extended guard Osiris Torrance, 4 years, 78 million. Falcons extended guard Matthew Bergeron, 4 years, 96 million. That's the guy I feel like I've heard is good. Titans extended Peter Skoronski to a 4 year, $100 million deal, making him the highest paid guard in the league. So surely he must be good. And then the Vikings extended right tackle Brian O'Neill, 4 years, 96 million. So four big offensive lineman extensions for three teams that want to be relatively competitive, and the team that Cam Ward is on. Giving him protection at least.
Yeah, I mean, smoke it if you got it, right? Obviously Matthew Bergeron at 4 for 96, if that's where the market lives. It's not like they blew that deal out of the water, right? Yeah, I feel like Bergeron I've heard is pretty solid. Skronsky inoffensive, and Osiris Torrance also inoffensive. I don't have much to add
Yeah,
beyond that. Um, the Vikings extended right
I
tackle
said that
Brian
one.
O'Neill. You said that one?
Yep.
I Who is their other tackle? This is, I think, something I was trying to
Christian
think of.
Darrisaw.
So Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill are the bookends. Wasn't one of the example Guardian Cap guys you gave me like a tackle for the Vikings, or
It
was
was
it?
Ryan Kelly, their center.
It was Ryan Kelly. Okay, because I was like, I know Brian O'Neill was not one of them. Yeah, I mean, good for the Vikings. The Titans don't exactly know what kind of quarterback they're protecting. I think the Vikings have the same problem. Um,
Hmm.
the Colts, actually, let's lump all of these together as well here.
Hmm.
Three massive running back deals landing pretty much back to back to back. The first, the Falcons extending Bijan Robinson to a 3-year deal, max value 75 million, making him the highest paid running back in the league at the time. Following up behind that, with maybe the third highest of the league at the time, the Colts extend running back Jonathan Taylor on a 2-year, $44 million deal that can get up to 47 with 39 guaranteed. So lots of guarantees for Jonathan Taylor. And then I'll let you ask me the trivia question here in a second. Finally, the biggest running back contract of all time now belongs to the Lions legend, Jahmyr Gibbs, who has a 3-year, $67.5 million deal with escalators to get up to 75.75 million, including 51.5 million guaranteed, making him the highest paid running back in the league. And I personally think it would have been kind of charming if they had offered him some ridiculous escalators up to 78 million, just so that you could say, The AAV was 26 million, his first number in the league. But
Mm.
um, I think very fair, comparable to Bijan, right? I think you could really go back and forth on which one you think is the better running back. Both of them getting really strong deals that don't necessarily crater the cap, but reflect their overall value. And I think for both of these teams, their running backs are their offensive identity. So I feel really good about Jameer getting this contract. I think Bijan's makes sense. And I think Jonathan Taylor, it's a lot of guaranteed money, but it's a short term investment. And I think that's relatively sensible. But Damon, what's your trivia here?
Yeah, my trivia. Jonathan Taylor making $22 million a year, all things considered, is $6.5 million a year less than what other Colt
Per year and per year value. Oh, is this Josh
per year
Downs?
value? It's not Josh Downs. I don't think he got paid yet.
Or no, I'm sorry, I was thinking Alec Pierce. It's Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is making 4 years like $140 million.
Yeah.
And this just highlights the positional value in the NFL, right? Players at certain positions get paid more than players at other positions, which I just like Alec Pierce. I've already harped on this once during the offseason, but it's just something that doesn't make sense to me because Jonathan, you cannot tell me that Alec Pierce is going to be more critical to your team in the next 2 years than Jonathan Taylor is. Like, say what you will about positional value and like not drafting a running back high up, although that's not the case with Bijan and Jameer were both drafted really high. Um, like I get why that happens because their longevity in the league is not nearly as long as another position. But for 2 years, one of those players is going to be way more important than the other player. So why is Alec Pierce making $6.5 million a year more and has 2 more years on this deal? Crazy to me. Just because you happen to play wide receiver and can run the ball down the field and we'll throw it up to you every now and then. Silly, silly. I have thoughts on this. I don't care. I love all of these deals because I'm like, these guys are so important and they're still making way less than every receiver in the league. So goofy.
Yeah, it's an interesting point because like I guess there was a period where receivers did feel like the dominant offensive engine and like running backs were sort of secondary. I think that's flipping, if not outright reversed in the last several years. And so, yeah, it feels really out of place that, especially because typically you need three solid wide receivers on your team and really at most two running backs who you are regularly relying on, one of whom is probably going to be doing more kind of secondary work for the team. But something I wanted to bring up in relation to this is I forgot I had this idea to talk about on the pod like 2 weeks ago. I'm going to make you a pitch, Damon. I want to know what you think about this. This is a pitch for
Yeah.
how contracts should work in the NFL.
Got.
Everybody and their best friend knew that the only reason the Falcons and Lions hadn't extended Bijan and Jameer was because they were waiting to see which one got a contract first.
Hmm.
I think that's stupid. That we
Yeah.
can all, even like a casual fan, can know why this is happening, and it still
Yeah.
doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
here's my pitch for players, and maybe you just do this like this is totally unfeasible, but it's more just a thought experiment. If you had performance driven tiers for players at set positions where you were able to say like, hey, if these two players have performance that's comparable in the following ways, their contracts are just negotiated jointly to be equal.
Mm.
And the NFLPA and I don't know, the NFL, maybe it's a new cap commission or whatever,
Hmm.
negotiates based on prior contract value, expected future contract value to just assign, look at these guards, right? Look at Matthew Bergeron and Peter Skoronski. I mean, they're $4 million apart. Where negotiations slowed it all by waiting for the other position. I feel like, okay, you go down the guard market and say, okay, here's two, maybe three guards per year at the top of their market. They're going to get a market resetting deal. Let's just negotiate collectively for them both to get 98 million. And let's
Hmm.
negotiate for Jameer and Bijan to both get 75.5 million. I feel like, yes, I understand each contract has nuances dedicated to the player based on injury history or whatever. But it seems like these standoffs that happen all the time where like one player signs, then another, but it causes a real holding pattern for all the teams. just feels inefficient to me.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Yeah, I like your system, and I think whatever is not the current system is better. Because yeah, like you said, it's really obvious what was happening, and they were like so obvious that like they were talking about it in training camp press conferences and stuff, like just being openly asked, like, oh, it's like what happening is related to Bijan with Jahmyr Gibbs, and they're like, no, yes, it is, but that sort of thing. So I like that. I mean, it kind of reminded me at first when you're talking about it, like in the NBA, um, the amount of money you can earn is based partially on did you make an All NBA team? Did you make like these kind of awards that then boost your contract? And I know there's similar things in NFL contracts why there's so many incentives involved. Um, but if there are, so if there's like a number that already exists that's like this would be like the amount that you should expect given your performance, I think that would make sense. And I also think like, you know, I think we should kind of eliminate positional value, which I know is easier said than done. It should really be a team by team basis, because Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, they're all incredibly important running backs to their franchises individually, maybe more so than any other offensive player on the roster. But if you look at a team like, let me think, do um, the Cardinals last year, they didn't have James Conner, all right, and they were just cycling through random guys at running back all year. And it was the Jacoby Brissett show, just throwing to Michael Wilson and whomever else on that team. So the running back was not a core part of their identity there. So in that case, yeah, it makes sense to not super pay a running back. But in these cases where you have players that are clearly the offensive identity for their team, I don't understand how we kind of get into these holding patterns that you mentioned.
Yeah, I don't know if you could do some sort of like each offseason the PA and the league negotiates a positional supermax or something that's like here's the contract we expect top of market players to receive, and then
Yeah.
you can just say, hey, Jamar Chase, you are getting the positional supermax, you're getting the negotiated
hmm
maximum deal. Um,
It's one of the things I love about the NBA is there's no positional value at all. It's just the best players get paid the most money. That's just how it works.
yeah, and I think in the NFL there's just so many players that there ends up
Yeah.
being probably a wider distribution of levels of contribution. Like, you can have an Osiris Torrance and a Matthew Bergeron, but then you can also have, and then there's the whole rookie pay scale and everything too. I mean, it's not a clean solution. It's just one of those things where it feels like just letting players jointly negotiate because you know that their deals are going to be based almost entirely on each other's deals feels
hmm
sensible. And I also think like, it's great that Jameer's the highest paid ever. That's fun, but it kind of erases the fact that like there are probably three or four running backs right now who are arguably the league's best running back, and I think it's a little bit more fun, maybe from a fan visibility angle to say like here are four guys who are the supermax running backs, and now let's see which one makes the most of their supermax deal and ends up being the best player instead of like, oh well, Jameer's the highest paid running back in the league, and then Bijan Robinson is a highly paid running back in the league. Those things land differently. So
Yeah.
just
But
but
we're about
speaking
yeah.
of maximum, speaking of records,
hmm
let's do some field goal trivia, shall we?
Oh. It was we were talking about running backs last time, so
No,
we'll
I
see
just
this
needed
time.
something that implied maximum. So this actually has nothing to do with contracts or necessarily running backs.
Excellent.
But while you spin the division wheel, I'll explain the game. This is field goal. Damon is going to spin the wheel. He's going to get a division. I'm going to have a trivia category for Damon, and Damon is going to have to name three of the top five players in that category. Damon gets three mistakes and has to be able to do it for three teams. So, whatever the category is going to be, again, three players out of the top five, three teams in the division, and only three mistakes allowed. And if Damon can get those first three, yes, AFC South, nice and difficult. If Damon gets those first three, then maybe we go for the extra point and see if he can knock it out for all four
I had a lot
Divisions.
of fun with
Damon,
this last time, but I was rambling, so I'm going to try to not do that.
you're rambling, but you also crushed it. Now, I'm using Pro Football Reference, and once again, I'm going to limit it to a decade. And so this is a player who played one snap at least in the decade of choice. Your category is
Hmm.
total scoring leaders (parentheses non-quarterback) for the team. So who has scored the most points of
So
all
like
players who played for the team at some point in the 2020s?
2020 is okay. So like Jameer Gibbs, we are just talking about every time he gets in the end zone, that's counting as 6 points.
Correct. This is scoring, so this
Okay.
is points scored.
Yeah.
Points scored
Got it.
leaders, not
Got it. Got it.
touchdowns.
Got it.
That's a good point. Yeah. Although those are,
Got
I mean,
it.
yeah.
2 point
So
conversions, those on the list.
I it says points. So
Right, right, right. Got it.
all right. So you
What?
you got the AFC South.
South. AFC South in the
Really,
2020s.
yeah. I was really
Oh
hoping.
God.
What I thought would be fun about this category in particular
This
is you
sucks.
know who the really good players are, but do you
Yeah.
necessarily know who's always scoring for them,
Right.
who tucked into the back? I think a few of them will be easy, but my hope is that a few of them are
No,
hard.
there's some tough, like the thing with the AFC South, Jaguars, Titans, Texans, Colts for the listeners. Um, like I would say two and a half, three of those teams are really young to a point where I don't even know if like some of their most premier players now were there in 2020. Um, and if we're going by the rules last time, people that scored a lot of points in the 2010s still applied to this list as long as they eclipsed the 2020s, correct? As long as they played a snap for the team in 2020, they are on the list.
Correct.
And all of their 2010 points would still count.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what's going to make it hard because I can't just think 2020 to 2026. I have to also think who could have carried over from the previous decade.
All right.
Okay.
Career leaders in scoring for the Jacksonville Jaguars filtered by 202, so it'll tell me if they played in the 2020s.
This is going to be hard.
If you get down to you've got like, one life left, I'll give you the hack, but until then I'm gonna keep quiet.
No, yeah, I think the hardest part is thinking about that. It really is going to be thinking about people that played 2020 um, at all for a team because all their 2010 points count. Because some of those names may be lost in my memory if they stop playing in 2021, but all their points
Yeah.
beforehand still
I'm looking
count.
at some of these names and I'm curious, like,
Who'd be getting in
okay.
the end zone for people? Oh,
Yeah, I'm
oh.
looking at one of these teams. Boy, oh
This is
boy.
this is going to be harder than the last one, I think, for me.
That's I
Um,
was kind of hoping the category would maybe offer a little more in the way of challenge. So,
yeah,
I am getting the Colts and I'll have the Titans last, but I already have Jacksonville and Houston pulled up if you want to start with either of those,
yeah.
unless you want to wait.
No, no, I'm just thinking. So I'll brainstorm out loud for the
Yeah, yeah.
listener as I'm kind of thinking. You mentioned Jags, so first names that come to my mind: Travis Etienne just left the team. James Robinson had one good year. I don't know if it was really long enough to consider him. I'm thinking also Leonard Fournette. Did he stick around in the 2020s enough? Because I know he was drafted, I think, in 2017, so he has a couple of years as a pretty decent running back for them. You said quarterbacks don't count, even if they like rushing touchdowns and stuff, like they're just not on the list at all.
Um, I will count quarterbacks based on rushing touchdown if that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll count that. Yeah.
That's just another thing I have to consider. Great. Um, Going back to my Jaguars thoughts, Brian Thomas Jr. hasn't been there very long. Um, Before him, there was a kind of a slew of guys. DJ Chark, Allen Robinson, Allen Hurns, all those guys played in the tens. Don't know if they eclipsed into the 20s. Evan Ingram, kind of known as not a touchdown guy, so not sure where he'll be in the scoring list. So I'm not super confident with any of those names. Those are just kind of the names that are coming to me. With the Texans,
Trying to
wow, the
think for
Texans.
myself, could I name a single Titan besides? There's one that comes to mind because I was looking into this. Yeah, anyway, this is tough. It's tough, tough set of teams.
Let's start. I'm going to start with Derrick Henry. Because you mentioned the Titans, and I feel like he was definitely in the team in the 2020s, and he has to be high on this list because that guy is a machine.
Yeah, definitely. He's number 4 on this list and on the team's overall list. Number 1 on the list of players in the 2020s and probably like all time. I think he's in the top 30 to 50. So
But he's number you said 4 on the specific kind of range. Got it.
sorry, no.
Um,
Number 4, Titans and Oilers all time. Number
oh, I
1
see.
on this list of players to play in the 2020s. That
Got it,
was
got it,
I
got it, got
misspoke.
it. No, no, no. You're good. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that I didn't even think about the Titans yet, but you said Titans, and I was like, oh, duh, super, super obvious one
Yeah,
right
take the
there.
free space. Take the free space.
Yeah. Um, eesh. That almost makes me wonder. Oh, that's such an early guess if I get it wrong, though. Um, I'm thinking about Mariota. That's what I'm thinking about right now.
Okay.
Rushing quarterback. But I don't feel confident enough to shoot. Titans, AJ Brown was there for a little bit. Corey Davis was there for a little bit. Um, Other receivers that I can even think of that matter. Calvin Ridley was there for like 1 second. I think DeAndre Hopkins technically was there, also on the Texans. Don't know if he was on the Texans in 2020 because I don't remember when he got to the Cardinals. So that's going to be tough. If did he make the kind of time cutoff? Tony Pollard's been there for a couple years. Tajay Spears, Jeremy McNichols. Not a lot of confidence in any of those names. Just names that are coming to the brain. Tight ends. Who have been like the premier tight end of the Titans is Delaney Walker. I don't think he made it to 2020. Um, but there's somebody I think I'm forgetting in the tight end realm. Like I can think of Che Okonkwo. Gunnar Helm was like the rookie they just had, but there's like a tight end before that that's just um I think I will rip this guess. Jonnu Smith?
No, no.
Bad guess. Tough, tough,
Not a
tough.
bad guess. Not a bad guess. I
Well,
think
that's one wrong already. That's unfortunate.
I think he would be, God, that player is, the Titans are so bad.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm starting with the
No, he'd
Titans.
be like maybe number 8.
Okay.
8 to 10 range.
Okay. Okay, okay. Giving him a little too much credit, I guess. Um, so there's one strike for me. I gotta think who's getting in the end zone is tough. I'm gonna switch from the Titans. I shouldn't focus on them. Um, I'm trying to remember the other teams. The Colts. Let's talk about the Colts. Let's guess
Yep.
Jonathan Taylor. That feels
Yep,
like a
you got
free
it.
guess.
Number 1 in the category. Number
Yeah,
9 all time.
yeah, that feels good. Let's guess. Hmm. Did he make it to 2020? The did he make it to 2020 question is gonna haunt me. Um, I really don't know if he did. The name I'm thinking of is T.Y. Hilton. I just don't know if he played until 2020. Um, who's their running back before John Taylor? Just a bunch of random guys. There was like a Zach Moss year. There's a Dion.
That is a human name. Oh, I see a here's another throwback name. I'll once we're done, I'll throw the name out because it's funny, but
Dion Lewis. He was there for 1 second.
man, these there's some 2 names on here that are just like true ball knower names, I think.
From this
Not
decade or just all
necessarily on
time?
this list of 5, just I'm going through all of their offensive
Like all
players and
time?
yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
so I have the full list of all-time points scored. I'm
Yeah.
searching for 20s. So
Yeah. Like all time would be easy. It'd be like Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Edgerrin James. Um, Joseph Adai in the thousands. He's probably on here somewhere.
number
Let's.
6 is kind of wild as well. Again, not technically in the parameters, but what a name.
Hmm. This is tough. I can't even think of who. I can. I was thinking of who the Titans or the Colts tight end was before Tyler Warren. And it was like a bunch of random guys like Noah Lee Cox. And then I remember the name Jack Doyle. What a name, Jack Doyle. He was there for a long time. I don't know if that guy ever scored a touchdown. He probably did because he's tight end, but just a name I forgot existed. And I want to also not sit here and think forever, but I'm so scared of getting things wrong.
I mean, you can
Um,
move on to another team if you want.
yeah. It is the did they play the 2020s part that is gonna floor me. Um,
Yeah.
I'll go to the Jags, and I think running back is probably the move. A lot of goal line carries. I'll throw Leonard Fournette out there. I feel like he was there long enough.
Leonard Fournette would not have made this list if he had played in the 2020s.
Oh, he didn't even
But
play.
he ended in 2019.
Oh wow.
114
Did
points.
did they play in 2020? I'm already have two wrong. This is bad.
All right, with two down, I'm gonna try
No,
to.
no. Let me just throw guesses out there.
No, 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 no,
I'm
because
okay if
you
I get it
still
wrong. I
haven't
just want to
figured.
guess.
I know, but you haven't actually figured out what you need to understand
Oh,
to get.
oh,
Like you
no, no,
won't.
no. Stop, stop. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. It's kickers. It's kickers. It's,
Yeah.
I figured it out. Figured it out in my head.
Okay,
Um,
that's yeah. See, if you got to two and you hadn't even thought about kickers yet, I felt like I had to at least put that on the board to give you a chance, because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
otherwise,
It clicked finally. Okay, let's go. Kaimi Fairbairn, Texans. Um,
where do you think? Because you asked Kaimi Fairbairn, where do you think he ranks for the Texans all time?
one,
He,
three.
yeah, he's number one. He's number
Yeah,
one by over 200 points. He's
yeah. He's
like
been
far
he's
and
been there for a
away
long time.
the yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, okay, who has been kicking on other NFL football teams? Wow. Whoa, do I know the kicker for any of the other teams?
At this point, you have
Oh,
one for each team gotten, correct? That sounds right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I got a Jag yet. I don't think I've gotten a correct Jag.
Oh,
I
you
got
gave me a jag. It wasn't the right jag. That's right.
I
So
gave you
you got one
Fairbairn,
for each of the
JT,
other
and
four.
Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Um, oh, this is hard. For the Colts, I'm thinking Rodrigo Blankenship is the guy that wore glasses. I don't know how long he was there. They just got what is that guy's name? Schrader, Spencer Schrader. I don't think he's been there that long either. And I can't remember who some of their other kickers were before that. Um, the Jags. I don't even know if I know who the Jags kicker is right now. Oh, it's Cam Little right now.
Um,
Um, it's Cam Little right now, but he has only been there for a couple of years. So before Cam Little, it's rough. It's a little rough in the brain. And then who's the other team? The Titans. Oh, what is that guy's name? Oh, I just thought of a kicker from like the thousands. I thought of like Ryan Suckup. Um, not gonna make the
uh,
list because that guy is old, I think. Um,
okay. Because you're not going to guess Ryan Suckup,
mhm.
number six all time for the Titans actually stopped playing for them in 2019. So right on the edge.
Oh, that would have crushed me if I guessed Ryan Suckup. Yeah, I was like, he feels old. I can't even think of who the air kicker is.
I believe, unfortunately, did he may have passed away.
Man, there's a lot of kickers that I don't know. That's what I'm realizing right now.
No, I'm thinking of someone else.
Um, I feel like I'm gonna get this wrong, but I feel like the kicker I feel the most confidence in that I've named is Rodrigo Blankenship. I feel like he was with the Colts for a couple of years at least. Was it in the 2020s though? I don't know who their kickers are. I like can't even think of a kicker before. Um, hmm. Yeah, I guess I'll guess Rodrigo Blankenship because I don't want to take all day. I don't want to just sit here and think forever.
Rodrigo Blankenship, number four on this list.
Let's go.
2020 to 2022, 187.
Let's go. He
points.
was only there for 4 years. Wow.
Look, I,
Um,
I have a question for you, and you can answer yes or no. Would you
mhm.
like to know how many kickers are in the top five for each team?
No, I figure there's a couple. When
Okay.
you had mentioned it's like I think you said like hack or something earlier. It's like this is how you get it. So it's going to be tough trying to remember kickers in general. And I feel like I don't want to, that feels too hinty. Even if I would rather, I think, lose than,
All right. If you lose, I can start giving you hints after that. We can do that.
yeah, yeah. I'm already. It's looking rough. What am I at? One
You have
Texan, two Colts, one
one
Titan.
Titan, and I think no
Jesus.
Jags still.
This
Yeah.
is terrible. Um, I literally cannot remember who kicked footballs for the Jags before Cam Little. So I feel like last year was like his rookie year, which is not. Granted, he is a good kicker, so maybe he's already in the top five in this exercise. But I cannot think of who was there before him at all. Chase? Kicker's got some random names. Um, so I mess with my Persona 5 pin. This is hard, Jared. This is hard.
That's why I thought it was a fun category because you know the fantasy guys, but how does that translate into points?
The kickers are not the fantasy guys that I know. So it's good. It's good that you gave me this exercise.
Getting you ready for the draft for the league that we are in and we'll probably never have an event for again.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that we're gonna do the league again.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think kickers is the route I should keep going, or do you think there are other obvious offensive weapons that are definitely on this list?
I will say for each team, there is a healthy mix of kickers and well-known offensive players for each team. I think there's a legitimate either route will probably get you at least three. Yeah, well, yeah, kickers. I would say you can reliably knock two of them out with kickers for each group for the most part.
Interesting. Interesting, interesting.
Actually, let
Hmm.
me sorry because that was not clear. You will not necessarily get it based on kickers alone.
Yeah.
If you're stumped in terms of offensive skill players, then they're a good resource.
I'm trying to think. Can I do what is that guy's name? Nick Nick Folk for the Titans. That's the only kicker I can remember for the Titans. Don't even know if he's there anymore.
Nick Folk is not currently a Titan, but he is on this list. He's number two on this
Woo!
list with 203 points, making him the 23rd all-time leading scorer for the Tennessee Titans.
I got 1 and 2 for the Titans. That's awesome.
You did.
Um, not expected, I'm sure. Um, man, yeah, I don't even know who the kicker is. I feel like Joey Sly has been on like 5 teams, and I think one of them was the Titans, and I don't know if that was the most recent one. But if he's been on 5 teams, it's probably not a good guess because he probably hasn't kicked that many points, especially because the Titans are bad now. I gotta get a Jag before I go out, I think. Oh, let me just go ahead and guess Travis Etienne. He's got to be on this list.
Number three on this list with 198 points, number 11 all time.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been not good. You said how many? 193? 83?
193, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna guess Cam Little then, because I think one season of kicking might be enough if that's the threshold.
with 248 points. He is number two on this list. He
Okay.
started in 2024 to
Oh, it's
2025,
two
so
years.
I'm guessing
Okay.
2 years. Yeah,
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Now I have two for them. Okay. There's a chance. There's a chance I save this, Jared. There's a
there
chance
is a
I save
chance.
this.
I told you, kicking is the key. It's really hard.
Yeah. Yeah. But even just remembering kickers existing is like, whoa. Um, how many kickers? I have a Titans kicker. I have a Colts kicker. I have a kicker for each team. Okay. But there's
Yeah,
probably at least one more for each, if I would guess. Except the Texans. I feel like Connie Fairbairn's been there forever. Um, okay.
you're on the right track.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to the names. Okay, so if he's been there for that long, or if he's only been there for 2 years and he's firmly on their list at two. I don't know how long Spencer Schrader was a Colt, and he got injured last season, I think. Or is he the guy that stepped in? Somebody got injured. I don't remember who the other guy was. Um, I'll guess Spencer Schrader because it's the name on the top of my head right now.
Yeah, that unfortunately will do it for us.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can't
I
sit here all day though.
I unfortunately, not to add insult to injury, he has been outscored as a Colt by Anthony Richardson, which
Oh,
tells you
nice.
tells you a good bit.
So he
So
probably is the guy that did get injured. Um, and somehow I don't remember who took over the kicking duties for their team that season.
yeah, he kicked for them for 6 games. So
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Huh. I don't know.
56 points. Yeah.
I could not name the guy who took over their their kicking duties.
I
Um,
don't necessarily know who it is
yeah.
either, but I do think you maybe overlooked.
Let me just
I wouldn't
start.
call it overlooked, but
Let me just start hitting some names now that I've lost.
hit yourself.
Um, Marlon Mack.
See, that was two of the ball knower names that came to mind were that I was like, oh, what a name, were Jack Doyle, who is not on this list, and Marlon Mack, who's also not on this list.
Okay.
Doyle was
Um,
6 and Mack was 8.
T.Y. Hilton didn't make it to 2020, or he is there.
2021, the
Okay.
last year, he was number 2 on this list,
Yeah.
15 all
Okay.
time with 328 points.
So I don't hate that. I said that name at least. So that would have been Blankenship, Taylor, T.Y. Hilton's. Okay, so that would have been three for the Colts. Let me go over some other names that I just kind of had in
Yeah.
my mind. Mariota, does he make it for the Titans?
No, he's well
Yeah,
down on the list.
I'm
76
glad.
all time, I think.
Glad I didn't guess him. Because I know he rushed, but I don't think he was a goal line rusher, especially when they have Derrick Henry. So that makes sense.
I will say this:
Um,
you missed one obvious Titan. You missed one
okay. Let
of
me
the
think
most
about
well-known
that.
Titans.
One of the most well-known Titans. Interesting.
Of the
One of
last decade, not necessarily playing currently.
Yeah. Tony Pollard,
Mm-mm.
classic Titan. AJ
I mean, he
Brown.
is, but what?
AJ Brown.
Yes, AJ Brown was number 3.
Okay, he felt like he was there
Actually,
for like
where
three. Felt like he was there for like 3 years, so I was not that
actually where
confident.
is Tony Pollard on this list?
You know, they don't be scoring at the moment, so it makes
Holy
sense.
smokes! Oh, okay, 88 all time. Man, lower than Corey Davis. That's tough.
Tough, tough,
Yeah.
tough.
So
I said AJ
AJ
Brown's
Brown.
name at some point. I just never guessed him.
Yeah, there were a few names that you threw them out and you just didn't guess them, and
Yeah, it's hard to
um,
think with the receivers, especially like running backs. I think get a lot of touchdown opportunity at the goal line, whereas receivers, it's kind of random. And AJ Brown was only there for like 3 years.
yeah,
So
156 points though, so props to him.
okay,
Yeah.
so that would have been my third Titan because I had Nick Folk and I had Derrick Henry. Um, Texans, D Hop. Did D Hop make it to 2020?
I don't believe D Hop is on this list
Okay.
because I
Nico
think
Collins.
the trade was yeah, he's number 5 all time. He was traded at the end of 19, I think, or
Hmm.
during
Nico
20.
Collins make it?
Nico's somehow number 2. I guess he's played 66 games with the team, which is news
Yeah.
to me. Number 11 all time, 154 points.
Okay. So that was relatively free. Like Will Fuller. I don't think he would have made this list.
Will Fuller, number 3 on this list, 150 points.
Okay. Names I thought of, I think I undervalued receiving touchdowns.
You were right that they had only one kicker. The last two are one of them. I was like, really him? Okay.
Okay. Interesting. Like Damian Pearson is 1 year. David Johnson's corpse from the Cardinals trade for Dion.
Uh,
Uh,
not quite for David Johnson's corpse, unfortunately.
Woody Marks' rookie year. Um,
Yeah.
okay, and then the Jags, I guess ETN. Didn't guess Ingram. I didn't remember how many of their guys from the 10s even made it to the 20s. Any of the like Allen Robinson, Allen Hurns, DJ Chark. I guess those would be the three somehow.
Chark did play into the 2020s. He was not top 5. He would have been
Yeah.
one, two, three, four, 8.
Okay. Um, James Robinson felt so short.
Would have
Was
been
he there?
5 on this list with
Okay.
134 points.
Thought about it. Yeah. Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram make this list for them.
He's pretty far down. He's
Yeah. Not a
number
touchdown scorer, that guy.
no. And he was only there for 3 or 4 years. 58 points.
Hmm. They've had so many receivers in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Okay.
crazy when I ask you points per game. That's gonna be so far. All right. Would you like me to tell you the rest of the names on these
Yeah,
lists?
please.
Actually, I'll try to give you I'll give you a hint on this one because I'm curious if you can get it.
Sure.
All time the Jags all time scorer and
Hmm.
another separate kicker. Their first names are both Josh. Can you name either of them? Either their all time scorer, who was not part of this list, or the top of this list.
All-time scorer, not a part of this list.
I recognized both names pretty
They're
comfortably.
both kickers?
Both kickers.
Oh God. Um, Josh, Jesus.
One of them
Um,
one of them has a name that sounds a lot like one of the stadiums.
Josh. Trying to think. Is this the kicker that like Urban Meyer harassed? Um,
Based on the timing, probably, yeah, I think it is.
yeah, yeah. No, it's not coming to me. I'll know it when you say it, but they're not coming to me.
So top of this list, played till 2021, Josh Lambo.
Josh Lambo. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I
then I
would.
believe number
Yeah.
1 all time, if I'm saying his last name right, Josh Scooby? Scobie? Scooby?
Okay. Okay. I would have never in a
Um,
million years got that one, but Josh Lambo, I would have got.
yeah. Other guy in the top 5 for the Jags was Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. Interesting. Been there
140
long enough, I
points.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, is that a multiple of 6? I guess that has to be right. No, that's not. How does that work? Oh, maybe he got a 2 point conversion.
Two point conversions. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 23 rushing touchdowns and one 2 point. That makes sense.
Um, Colts, Titans. Have we talked about the rest of them already?
Colts, Titans. We hit Derrick Henry. You got Nick Folk. The kicker you were missing, Randy Bullock.
Mm. Hmm.
Um, and then AJ Brown, and then finally
Hmm.
number 5, Ryan Tannehill on the ground.
Ah, wow. He was not there that long to have that much. Huh?
132, so 20 over about 4 or 5 year career, 2019 to
Yeah.
23 there.
With
Would you
Derrick
like to try
Henry.
to guess the number 2 all-time Titans scorer who was a kicker in our lifetime? You will not know Al Del Greco, who was a kicker from 1991 to 2000, but was their all-time leading scorer. This
Wasn't
second place kicker is not far behind though.
wasn't Ryan Suckup. Um,
Suckup was 6 all-time.
okay. God, what other kickers initials?
RB.
The name that came to my head when you said that was Randy Bullock. I don't know if
He
that's a
was
real
one of the
person.
he was the person I named as the third highest in
Awesome.
this category just mere minutes ago.
That's
Um,
why it came to my head. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah, I just said it actually.
Yeah.
Um, the name we're looking for here is Rob Baronis, who
Never,
died.
never in a
I
million
guess
years.
as a Titans local, he unfortunately died. I think the year after his career ended, he got in a car wreck.
Mm,
But Rob Baronis, a name I definitely growing up in Tennessee recognized for sure.
got it. Got it. Got it. Okay.
All right, and then Colts, JT, TY. The kicker you were missing was Matt Gay.
Mm,
Um,
what am I
Rodrigo
guessing?
Blankenship, and then number 5 on this personal list, Michael Pittman Jr.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely
Um,
undervalued receivers. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Well, this is what I found interesting about this particular cut is like you'd either think it's going to be all kickers or
Hmm.
like the most iconic guys, and it's like, oh, there's kind of a mix of like top offensive guys
Yeah.
and relatively well-known kickers. Can you tell me the number one all-time leading scorer in Colts history?
Adam Vinatieri.
Adam Vinatieri. You got it. And
Yeah,
then to round
makes
out the
sense.
Titans, you got or sorry, Texans, you got Kaimi, you got Nico Collins and Will Fuller. The two names you were missing were Deshaun Watson and
Yep.
number 5, Brandon Cooks.
Never in a
Isn't that
million
crazy?
years. That's
He played there for
crazy.
like 3 years,
Yeah,
2020 to
that's
2022,
crazy.
apparently, and scored 90 points. But I was like, really? Brandon Cooks? Wow.
Yeah, those are hard lists. Like ultimately gettable, I think, with only three strikes in such a tough category, I don't think I was going to get there. But if this were like a game where I can just fire names off, I think I could have eventually got it. But I think that's a deserving loss there.
Yeah, I think you did well. I think if you would, and this isn't accusatory because it's never where your brain goes, but if you had thought kicker from the start, you might have been able to
Hmm.
save a few, like one of those misses. But
Yeah,
honestly, it is a very difficult category. So,
that was
um,
fun.
thanks for playing. Do come again.
1-1, 1-1.
1-1, but that first one was triumphant. You got the extra point. So, um, I'm excited to do it again. But for now, let's wrap up these contracts and then we can
Oh,
talk injury and move into our next segment here.
yes, sir. Next contract on the list. To my earlier point about positional value, wide receiver, Saints wide receiver Chris Olave, 4 years, 132 million, 90 million guaranteed, more than the entirety of all the running backs we just talked about contracts. And then a Ravens extended wide receiver Zay Flowers, 4 years, $140 million deal. My first gut reaction to both of these deals were this player is not worth this contract. Because for Chris Olave's case, a lot of injury history, not his fault, of course, but concussions, head stuff, that's obviously scary. Zay Flowers, he's fine. I don't, I actually don't think Zay Flowers has had an 1,000 yard season. Um,
Yeah, I'm a bigger fan of the Olave than the Zay Flowers contract in terms of who they are as players, I think.
I lied. Zay Flowers had 1,200 yards this year, so I'm a big fat liar.
And
Um,
1,000 the year before. But
yeah,
I
he
don't
doesn't
think,
feel that impactful to me. I don't know. Like
yeah,
he's just not that important.
the defenses don't quiver at the name, it's
Hmm.
he just kind of like, yeah, I felt the same way. I thought it was really strange.
But yeah, just a casual near double Jameer Gibbs and Bijan Robinson's contract.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Lastly, a few top of the market defensive tackle deals. Jalen Carter shattering the market with a 4-year, $152 million deal, and then Quinnen Williams actually within the last several hours, 3 years, 105.9 million with the Cowboys. So Jalen Carter, I feel like from an off-field perspective, maybe some questions about handing him an almost 40 million a year deal
yeah,
at
remember when he
that
got suspended
position.
for spitting? That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I I don't really fully believe in that contract. I'll say conversely, you get Quinnen Williams for what, about 30, 35 a year ish, and a guy you're not going to have any real questions about as like a character presence, I think, for the most part.
Hmm.
I don't know. I kind of think that's maybe a tad dubious to hand out that big old contract, but
Yeah,
That's the league
he
for you.
he he may not have the impact that Jalen Carter does, but I also really like Jordan Davis on that roster. They have a couple really talented linebackers. They have a couple talented secondary guys. Just you know, not infinite money to hand out. I don't know if that's the player I would have gone
Yeah. Yeah. It's not the investment I'd make, but I'm not Howie Roseman.
with.
So what
Thank
can I
goodness
say?
for that.
Yeah, so, seriously. Talk about being a tough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he's a nice guy. All right, you wanna start us on some heartbreaking injuries for us Lions fans here?
Bang! Yeah, these were revealed recently. Lions running back Isaiah Pacheco, kind of, I guess, theoretically filling in the Monty hole, sprained his MCL, is likely going to miss most, if not all, of the preseason, but he's expected to be back once the regular season starts. More problematic, though, is projected starting center Cade Mays suffered a wrist injury, and he is going to miss a quote significant amount of time. So sounds like well into the regular season for him, which is unfortunate because Lions' offensive woes health have been a little bit of a story for us last couple of seasons. And with the aforementioned Jahmyr Gibbs being such a big part of the offense, need a good offensive line to support that.
Yeah, Cade May's injury is big. I think he was really going to be a linchpin, and still, when he comes back, ideally will be. But just really difficult to see this come down the pike. And Pacheco obviously will be a factor on our team. I do think we feel good about some of our depth guys, and also, Jameer is going to be the centerpiece of that. So
Bring back Craig Reynolds,
hey, Craig got to go to the Super Bowl, man. Happy for him. But
Kutztown legend.
it's not a legend. No, I actually do love Craig Reynolds, but increased opportunities for Jabari Small, Sione Vaki, who are names that probably fit in the Guardian Cap list tier of
Yeah.
ball knower, but listen, I when I was bringing up preseason, watching that center position, watching backup running back, watching backup quarterback, there's going to be some really meaningful snaps out there for some Lions backups who will be starters to start the season. Speaking of back, Falcons QBs Tua Tagovailoa and Michael Penix Jr. have missed time with back and knee issues, respectively. Please bear this in mind when we do our made up NFL headlines after we get through the injuries and Madden ratings. I will be on theme with this particular news item.
I have one too.
That's so funny.
Falcons linebacker Jelon Walker tore his ACL is going to be out for the season. Really unfortunate. Pretty impactful rookie first round pick for them last year. Not named James Pierce Jr. And now he's out for the entire season. So really, like I said, unfortunate second year gone now from him. Very young to have this injury, so theoretically he will bounce back. But you never want to see someone go through that. And that'll be a missed player for their defense for sure.
Um, yeah, the Jelon Walker injury, obviously alongside the James Pierce Jr. unavailability, gutting for this defense. And big investment on defense for the Eagles. Linebacker Jonathan Grenard tore his pec and was placed on the pup list. Do you know, Damon, if being on pup list before the season means he won't come back this year? Do you know the
I believe the pup physically unable to perform, for those of you that do not know, means you miss at least the first 4 weeks, I think.
yeah, let me just confirm because I know there's some like quirk that yeah, I guess I think there's some quirk where if you go into um the season on pup or something like that, it ends up
I think if you go in on IR, you're out for the season.
maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I know that there's some yeah, the rules for these lists are really strange. He won't be out for the season, right? That's the thought.
Um, Laramie Tunzel, Commander's left tackle, tore his tricep. I originally wrote pec, and then I looked at it and I was like, I think that's wrong. Tricep, and will miss the start of the regular season for them. So we will see when he comes back. Obviously, very important part left tackle in your offensive line for Jaden Daniels' return. So hopefully he comes back sooner rather than later.
All right. Next up on our list here is Saints defensive tackle Brian Breesy.
Yeah, I think
Brise?
so. I think it's Reese.
Brian Breesy has torn his ACL and will be out for the season. Unfortunate for a young talented player in the middle of their defense.
Nice. Not nice. Unfortunate. I was right, by the way. People on the reserve pup list have to sit out the first 4 weeks of the regular season.
Okay, that's see, I yeah. What am I thinking of?
Um,
I'll
I
do some
think
digging. You take the next
because
one.
there's like active and reserved versions of list too. So I think if they're on the active list, you can take them off before the season starts, but if they're on the reserve list, they have to stay there for a while. I will take Bears wide receiver Luther Burden III strained his groin, is going to be out for at least the preseason. This one's interesting because I feel like Luther Burden did not do like enough necessarily in his rookie year to for people to be like, oh my God, Luther Burden. But I feel like people are like, oh my God, Luther Burden. Like I think a lot of people, because fantasy, I know a lot of fantasy info. People are projecting him to have like a better season than Rome Odunze, who has been like their guy since he's been in the league. But I haven't seen that, and I don't know why people are saying that. Obviously, this puts a hamper on that, as he will not be there to at least maybe a week 1, week 2. We'll see how he comes back from the strained groin.
Yeah. I mean it is a bear market, so
Nice.
yeah, I think people are really stocking up on Burden. I want to see it to believe it. In other wide receiver news, 49ers wide receiver was
Ricky
placed on
Pearsall.
C Ricky Pearsall. It's not typed in the notes. 49ers
I
wide
didn't
receiver
type the
Ricky
name.
yeah, Ricky Pearsall on season-ending IR due to a lingering PCL injury. A really talented young receiver whose career has really been derailed so far by injuries. Obviously, as a rookie, he was shot before the start of the season, and that obviously impacted his availability. And now a PCL injury taking him out of the lineup for the year. Big blow
Just
for the
wonder why they
Niners, and
didn't do this at the end of last season. I feel like that should have been like the first thing that happened. It's like, all right, let's fix that injury. Let's get that surgeon out. The season's over.
yeah, you got to wonder, right?
I guess I
And
thought maybe it'll just heal, but
yeah.
alas.
And I think an injury that could jeopardize their season, though, another injury took place with the Niners that was a pretty big headline.
Big headline: 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan, one of the more revered head coaches in the NFL, got into a very serious car accident that broke his nose, broke 3 ribs, broke his hand, and he also needed 40 stitches in his face. And of course, big car accident, had a concussion as well. So a lot of his kind of duties have been, what's the word I'm looking for, delegated to other coaches of the staff during training camp and practice, but he is kind of slowly reintegrating back into kind of his normal head coach duties. But of course, very serious thing for him. Don't really know the details behind what happened, who is at fault. At least I don't. I didn't do that much research into it. But I don't know if those have been revealed either. So yeah, hopefully he's okay. Hopefully other people involved in this accident were also okay. But it sounds like it was a pretty scary situation there.
Um, yeah, it seemed like his phone fell below the car seat or something like that. Reaching down to get it, he said he had it on AI autopilot. Regardless, it seems like a very human mistake, not necessarily born of malice, just at worst maybe some negligence, and hopefully he's able to get better. I think I saw it either yesterday or today, recently anyway. He was talking about how his own concussion has kind of changed his point of view on traumatic brain injury in the league, and um I think it's great that he's examining that critically. So
Kyle Shanahan, the first coach to wear the Guardian cap on the sideline.
that honestly would go so crazy if like I they should do a Guardian week or something that
Yeah,
um yeah, I actually, because I'm working on my third kooky headline that hang on.
hanking. I'm hanking.
No, you go ahead. Sorry, I was just
Much to my ancestors' chagrin. Um, I will. I wanted to talk a little bit about Madden ratings, a game that I haven't played in like a decade. I played College Football 25 that when that game first came back out 3 years ago now. They're on College Football 27. Haven't bothered to play 26 or 27. They introduced microtransactions into Dynasty mode in 27, so I'm so out. Um, Anyways, EA sucks. Moving on. But I think that Madden ratings kind of have this weird impact on a community of people as they're trying to understand football. Because a lot of people that are not me and you that watch a lot and read a lot and study a lot and things like that, um, I think they get a lot of their opinions from what they see on social media. If they play Madden or games like that, kind of how they view players. So I thought it was interesting enough to just kind of briefly mention the top 10 for the skill positions and see, are there any here that we think are like kind of egregious, or does it feel relatively correct? Um, so that's what I wanted to briefly do. So I'll start us off with quarterbacks, with 299s at the top spot. Matt Stafford coming off MVP, Josh Allen at a 99. Then you have Joe Burrow 97, Lamar 94, Patrick Mahomes 93, Drake May 92, Dak Prescott 91, Justin Herbert 90, Caleb Williams 90, Jared Goff 88. Is there a name or two in this list that you think is like, whoa, too low, too high, or even comparatively, two players having the same kind of rating that's like, that's interesting that those two players have a rating that's really similar, or is this player above that player, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Um, hey guys, it's time. We can stop glazing Joe Burrow. This is silly.
97 is high.
97, here's the cool thing about 97 is it's actually like clinically crazy. And I mean, not to make light, but I do think legitimately giving Joe Burrow a 97, despite the fact that I can't remember the last time he played 8 consecutive football games in a season, is silly. I get it.
I
He
don't
was
think the
very
injury stat counts to their overall rating, so
okay, fine. I just like
I'm just
what are
making a silly point.
no. Yeah. It's like what are we basing this off of? 2022? I mean, like again, Joe Burrow I actually think is very good, and I have no problem with viewing him as a 97 at his peak by any means. He's just not played enough to, I think, earn the longevity. To like, you could look at Mahomes as a 93, which also
Low.
that feels a little low.
Feels low.
And say like, oh well, he
Especially because
got
he's like the NFL guy. He's like the their
that one
golden boy.
shocks me a little bit because even if you're going to say, oh, the Chiefs' offense has been deteriorating over the last couple of years, well, it's not Mahomes. If you're going to say, oh, well, Burrow's only played a little bit, but the offense has been dynamite when he plays, and it's true, it is. He's also got two of the best. He's got the best wide receiver tandem in the NFL, probably. Maybe Pickens and CD at this point, but like you
Devontae
can't
Puka.
Devontae Puka, but like you can't tell me that the guy throwing to Jamar Chase and T Higgins, you know, 10 times a year for the last 4 years is somehow 4 points better than a multiple time Super Bowl winning quarterback who happened to, yes, the offense has been a bit of a downturn, but has really only had one major injury over the last couple of years. I inexplicable to me. I mean, I could go into the fact that Caleb Williams is probably too high, but he's the cover athlete. I get it. I'm not going to like pitch a fit over him getting a 90. I just think like Mahomes, I honestly, Lamar 95, Mahomes 94, Burrow 93, May 92 feels much closer to accurate to me.
Let me ask you this. If you had to organize a top three out of these 10 names, who would be in your top three?
I respect the decision to give it to Stafford because he's the MVP. I mean, for me, I hate to be a basic guy, but like, God, Lamar is such a weapon on the ground. I mean, it would still probably be Allen, Jackson, Mahomes, maybe Allen,
That's
Mahomes,
the exact
Stafford.
three I would have.
Yeah,
Josh
yeah,
Allen,
yeah,
Lamar,
yeah.
Mahomes. They just seem like the clear best three quarterbacks in the league. Granted, Stafford won MVP. I don't think he's a 99 overall. And again, the way these ratings are calculated is some garbage EA product. But like theoretically, mobility matters, and all three of those quarterbacks have a lot of mobility. And like, sure, Stafford's probably more accurate than all of them. And when we talk about intangibles and awareness and things like that, that's probably where he has a leg up. Um, but like, I don't know. I think if you put Lamar, Josh Allen, Mahomes on that Rams team from last year, I'm liking the chances.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and we obviously Lions fans, we have a lot of respect for Matt Stafford. Just 99 feels, strange at age 39 or whatever. Um,
Yeah,
unless you're
if
like
there was a
Tom Brady.
precedent of like MVPs of the league being 99s every year, or maybe they're starting that, but a little odd.
Yeah.
A little odd.
Yeah, those are you already pointed out kind of the only like real like whoa things that I thought. So I won't harp on it too much. Running backs, Gibbs, 98, Christian McCaffrey, 97, Jonathan Taylor, 96, Bijan, 95, James Cook, 94, Derrick Henry, 93, Saquon, 92, Josh Jacobs, 91, Kenneth Walker, 90, Kyron Williams, 89. My first question to you, who do you think is the best running back in the league?
If it's not Gibbs, it's probably Bijan.
I think it's Bijan. That would be my choice. So for him to be fourth on this list makes no sense to me at all. I
Yeah.
just don't get it. Um,
It's under
yeah,
JT because like I get if you make the argument that CMC is an elite pass catching back and that
yeah.
bumps his stats, like I could see that. But yeah, I mean, granted, I wasn't watching a ton of Colts last year, but I don't know. That's really odd to me. I mean, I will say this feels like the right 10 names in roughly the right order. If you look at like any given group of three or four, like could you put Saquon above Cook? Like I don't know, maybe, but like
Yeah.
I'm not
A
gonna.
year after being the cover athlete, he's down to the 92. Um,
Hey, their current cover athlete's a
subpar
90,
year.
so
Yeah, but I think he was a 99 last year and he was the cover athlete. So he
yeah,
had a
yeah.
big drop off in terms of the ratings department. Um, you raise a good point that I'll think about for the rest of these categories. That I'll do some research real quick. Who are guys that could be off of the top 10 list for each position? That I didn't really consider that. So I'm gonna look real quick. I'm gonna look a little quick
While
at
you
some of
do
that.
that, if I
Yeah,
may briefly, I
please.
think that Derrick Henry should be until he has a significant drop off year. I think putting Derrick Henry at less than a 95 fails to recognize that he truly has like almost a video game style cheat code aggressiveness. Like
He's so good.
if you're building like a video game around the NFL, I would want Derrick Henry to feel powerful every time I play with him and putting him as like the sixth, maybe seventh running back, sixth running back, 93. I don't know, man. As you know, have a soft spot for players that really have an exclamation point factor, and I think he's one of them and has been one of them for so long. I mean, if we're gonna give Burrow a freaking 97 for half a season's worth of work,
Addy is
can't we
loving this
respect
content.
that King Henry has had like truly. Can't we give King Henry respect for a dominant all-time great career as a running back? I mean,
Yeah. Here I have a list I actually just pulled up from. Let me read it real quick. Blah 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 blah. ESPN surveyed league executives, coaches, and scouts to rank the top players at each position. So I'm going to go through. I'll go back to the quarterbacks real quick. They had Josh Allen first, Mahomes second, Stafford third, Burrow fourth, Lamar fifth. Too much Lamar hate for my liking. Um, Dak sixth, Herbert seventh, Drake May eighth, Goff ninth, Caleb Williams 10th. Um, that feels okay. Honorable mentions that got some name mentions, and I don't know if you think any of these people should be in the top 10. Sam Darnold, Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts.
uh, sorry, I was looking
Jaden
at Joe Burrow's stats. I mean, I don't have a.
Jaden Daniels is the one that's like I know he was injured, but like he was better than Caleb Williams the rookie year.
I will say this about Joe Burrow. I had candidly forgotten that he had played all 17 games in 2024. He did lead the league in completions, attempts, yards, touchdowns, yards per game, and is apparently the it appears NFL all-time leader in completion percentage. So, at 68.5. Unless I'm misreading this, it says gold career totals indicate an all-time career record.
Yeah, I think
68.5.
that I think I remember kind of doing a trivia deep dive on this the other day, and he was really high on the list. So
Yeah, but 2023 he only played 10 games. 2025 only played 8. Again, I don't know. I do give a little bit of stock to. I know it's a team sport, but like a little bit of postseason success over the last 4 years would be nice for me.
for
Out
sure.
of out of Burrow. Were there any running backs off the list who caught your eye as belonging on the list?
Yes, actually. So I'll go to the ESPN. I pulled the same thing for running backs. Bijan 1, so they're with us. Gibbs 2, Saquon 3. So they still had Saquon 3. CMC 4th, Jonathan Taylor 5th. That feels fine. Derrick Henry 6th, James Cook, a name we did not mention that I think is maybe deserving. Devon Achane, number
Oh
8th on
yeah,
this list.
yeah.
Kenneth Walker, number 9. And then actually they have Brees Hall 10th on this list. Um, the honorable mentions they had were Josh Jacobs, Kyron, who were moved off the list for Achane and Brees Hall. And then they also had Judkins. I'm good on that. But
He
I
was pretty good, but yeah, not a good dude.
I can see an argument, especially for Achane in my mind, because he's so electric when he has the ball in his hand. But like Kyron Williams being a 10, like he's good. So I don't,
Yeah,
I don't hate that. So
maybe I'm giving a little bit too much weight to team success for quarterback and not enough for running back, but I don't know. I think Achan is like one of those guys who like at least in a fantasy space, he's always producing.
yeah,
Um, and credit to him for that. But yeah, that's all I've got for running backs. Do you want to hit wide receivers next?
let let's hit receivers. Do you want to name the list, or do you want me to keep naming the list?
I got it. I'll roll him through here. Jamar Chase leading the pack at 99, tied with Jackson Smith and Jigba, also 99. Puka Nakua at 98. Amon-Ra St. Brown at 95. Justin Jefferson at 94. CeeDee Lamb, 93. Drake London, 92. I assume Devonta Smith
Hmm.
is at 92. You wrote
Yeah.
Smitty. I had to really parse it. Scary Terry McLaurin at 91, and Mike Evans at 91. I'll say the two names that immediately come to mind here is I'm surprised Jefferson is that low,
My first thought
and
as well. Yeah.
I do kind of feel like Pickens played his way into the back of this list over
There's
maybe.
this feels like the craziest one so far. Um, Jettis feels too low, like you said. Drake London, Devontae Smith, Mike Evans. I'm a Terry McLaurin respecter. All being in the 90s feels odd to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't know if I'm there. To compare the ESPN list, Jamar Chase 1, Jefferson 2, JSN 3, Puka 4th, Amon-Ra 5th. So pretty close, but they moved Jettas up as well. Just like, and this again, not an ESPN list. They publish the article, but it's a league-wide poll.
Yeah.
Um, CeeDee Lamb 6th, George Pickens 7th, to your point. Um, and then I actually like the guy they have at 8. They have Nico Collins at 8th. I think
Yeah,
Nico
solid.
Collins is good. AJ Brown at 9th. That's a weird situation at the moment. Devontae Adams still 10th, probably a little bit washed for my liking. Um, I think honorable mentions here. Mike Evans, Drake London both do cut into honorable mentions. Not even Devontae Smith. Malik Neighbors, honorable
Yeah, I
mention. I
was
think
thinking Malik.
without
Yeah.
the injury, I think there's a great case for that. Zay Flowers, honorable mention. Tyreek Hill, honorable mention. Not even on a team at the moment. Um, and then last honorable mention, JMO. So that's interesting.
He's got an elite stat or two. I don't know if I would put him on this
Yeah,
list, but yeah, I mean I could probably I think you can make a convincing case that Drake London, Devonta Smith, and Mike Evans could all be moved off this list for other
yeah,
younger receivers, and or not even necessarily younger, but just other receivers, and I would probably agree with that.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I like the names are eluding me right now, but I know I'm gonna be like, oh, of course. Well, that guy could have made the
Hmm.
list, and I could see like Ted McMillan being near the bottom of this top 10
Mm,
in a couple years, maybe. Like, there's
sure.
just guys out there. There's just a lot of guys.
Yeah, I'm with you. Tight ends. Trey McBride, 99. George Kittle, 96. Brock Bowers, 93. Travis Kelce, still 91. Mark Andrews, 90. Dallas Goddard, 89. Sam Laporta, 88. Hunter Henry, 86. Tucker Kraft, 85. Colston Loveland, 84. Rounding out the top 10. McBride's on 99 makes a lot of sense to me. Colston Loveland being here and Tyler Warren not being here doesn't make as much sense to me because I think Colston Loveland, you can argue, has more potential. I think Tyler Warren had a better season. Um, so therefore, current overall should be higher, in my opinion. Kittle, glad he got respect. I think he's kind of underrated at this point. Bowers, weird year with the injury. And then you got a bunch of old guys. And Sam Laporta, who was also injured.
Yeah.
And Tucker Kraft, who was also injured.
I maybe would have moved Kraft up a little bit, not to buy into the Packers glaze, but it seems like a lot of people respect Kraft as a pretty complete tight end. I couldn't really tell you much about Hunter Henry's contributions. Um,
Yeah.
and I think we've kind of agreed for a while on this particular program that Mark Andrews is currently being way overvalued at a
Yeah.
90. So, um,
Uh, you know who I would like on this list? I don't know who I'd tick off, but Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts has gone from overrated to underrated.
oh, you know who I would put on this list? Actually, there's probably a couple names.
Hmm.
You could probably make a case for both David and Njoku at the
That's
bottom
a
of
good
this
name.
list,
And
and maybe
Fannin.
Fannin, my guy, Harold Fannin.
Yeah.
I feel like
He
he's
had a better
sneaky.
rookie season than both of those first round tight ends.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's an omission, and I mean this is part of the thing that feels so stupid about Madden, to be honest, is it's like the ratings don't even feel tied to a sense of logic or reality. So,
Yeah.
um, anyway, we are running a little low on time. I want to make sure that we
So,
wrap up at
speaking
a
of running out of logic, let's talk about that. Let's talk about some
yeah.
illogical headlines.
Yes, I have one that is team specific and two that are
Sure.
strictly meta. So,
Okay.
inspired by the fever dreams of Mark Sessler of Heed the Call fame here, we've got some predictions for the season that border on the impossible, the ridiculous, perhaps the mildly absurd, or deeply resonant. I think we're both fans of The Onion. I don't know how much you read The Onion, but I'm a big
Not
enjoyer.
currently. When I was younger, I definitely did.
Yeah, I there's definitely certain points from like, is there some degree of this that's like not the most like I don't know. Every week they'll put out one article that's like cuts me to the bone. And I think the cartoonist is funny because they are satirizing a like conservative middle-aged cartoon voice, with all the strappings of that. So either way, pretty fun for us to just jump into some of the humor here.
Let's do it.
Let's hit us with your first one here, Damon. I'll let you start, and I'll let that set the tenor for which one I go with first.
Yeah, we kind of alluded to it earlier, so I think I'll start with the one I have that is specifically Falcons related. Um, so let me set the stage for you. I wrote it out almost script style. Sunday, January 10th, 2027, last week of the NFL regular season. With Michael Penix Jr. and Tua Tagovailoa sideline extended time due to injuries, all hope looked lost for the Atlanta Falcons after a crushing defeat at home to the Lions in Week 13 that made them 4-8. But that's when undrafted free agent Jack Strand took over their quarterback room and led them to four consecutive wins over the Browns, the Commanders, the Bucks, and the Saints. Now, in Week 18, they have a match against the Carolina Panthers to determine who wins the NFC South and will make the NFL playoffs.
Wow. Is this with particular love for Jack Strand, or is
Nope.
this?
It's just something when I was thinking about these, I was like, what is so crazy but could maybe happen? And it's that both Falcons quarterbacks that have a track record of getting injured get injured, but then somehow they make it work. Um, and that's where and I looked at their schedule and I was like, wow, the schedule's really easy at the end of the season, and compared to other teams. So that was my motivation.
Yeah, I was in a similar space. I'll give you my Falcons one. We'll start in the same spot here. Head coach Kevin Stefanski, 4-6 Falcons not throwing in the towel by starting QB Anthony Richardson versus Vikings. Um,
That's awesome.
I was thinking like what would be the craziest thing that I could possibly see happening? And the thought was what if the Vikings and Falcons swapped JJ McCarthy and Michael Penix? And I
Oh.
thought just a little too crazy to actually see it happen. And then I thought, well, who would Stefanski actually go after? And then I thought maybe he'd try to get Dylan Gabriel, not to bring that back, but like he was with the Browns last year as a third round pick, and I thought, oh, we
Yeah.
didn't even really start him over Shadur. So, canvassing the league, who's the guy who wants to be traded and you could see being thrown into a relatively lost cost season. It's
Hmm.
Anthony Richardson. So I love the idea of either, conditional seventh after one of the Falcons' two current quarterbacks is out for 8 weeks, or maybe he's just cut at the end of training camp and the Falcons pick him up
Hmm.
wholesale, 2 weeks prior as and this could also be honestly because of quality of play. Like if you told me that Tua was just such a liability, and only managed to win them like 2 games by sheer luck, and they just said,
Hmm.
"Hey, we'd rather try Anthony Richardson than play Tua, knowing he sucks." I
Hmm.
could, no offense to Tua, like maybe he'll be fine, but like I could totally. I
That's
don't know if he'll
awesome.
suck, but I could see a world where Tua disappoints, and they say we might as well go with the high upside guy and Anthony Richardson. Um, so yeah, we were in a very similar space. I wasn't quite at the ball knower level of Jack Strand, but that would be really fun.
That would be electric.
It'd be electric. NFC South needs the smoke. Still rooting for the Panthers in that division overall, but
Yeah.
um, thank you for emphasizing that the Lions crushed them. By the way, that was a nice touch.
Yeah. 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 I was like, oh, look, they play the Lions, and then they have like a pretty easy schedule after that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And even before the Lions, I mean, the Vikings are not exactly like the most intimidating team in the NFL right now. So.
Yeah. Good. Both little Falcons, excuse me. What about one of these meta articles I feel you've written?
All right, one of them is like really specific, and one of them is not. So I'll just go with the headline that's like a little dark and a little sad.
Okay.
Kalshi under fire for real-time prop betting on outcomes of blue tent visits. I
Mm.
I
This is
can
a
just
real this is real. I could absolutely see this.
I don't it probably already happens, right? But the idea
Yeah.
that like Cam Scatabo comes back in week 6 and then has to go to the blue tent, and then like there's a surge of tweeting about the fact that Kalshi pushed a prop bet to like gamble on whether he has a concussion or not. It just feels so vividly possible. And the darkest version of this in my mind was like, what if there was another Damar Hamlin-esque moment where like the
Mm,
entire game stops and they might postpone the game, and like I don't know if it would go that far, but I could
yeah.
absolutely see someone or other either making a comment or
How
shaking it
how
up, and
long
maybe
is how long is the game postponed by player's death?
so like doesn't that feel like it's something they do?
Yeah.
And the joke here might be that they would be under fire for it because it's quite possible this already happens and no one talks about it because
Right.
it's just so normalized to bet on this like because will X player play is like already baked into a lot of prop bets when it's like, oh,
Hmm.
will Kevin Durant score over under 0.5 points? You're actually gambling if he'll play in the game or not, right? So um you just wonder if someone will slip up and make it so overt and grotesque that it gets them in trouble. But um, that one just like it
I
feels
like
like it
that.
comes from a future timeline, unfortunately.
Yeah. I the only other thought I had with that as you were going through was like fans that have placed these bets then start like storming the field at more regular occurrence to try to injure players so they can cash in
Oh my
on the bet
God.
that they
Like
placed.
Bounty Gate? Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, well, because there, I believe there was, maybe I was watching John Oliver or something, but I think they had a player or some fan did that where they like bet on someone coming out on the field and then they had someone else who was in on it run across the field so that they paid off their bet. And
Mm,
Kalshi's all fake and unregulated, so like that
yeah,
shit just kind of goes unmonitored. Yeah, man, it's gross. But
it's a good one.
anyway, yeah, sorry, that one just popped into my mind fully baked. So
No, no, I like that. I will give you. I'll do my end of season one. I kind of did three different times of the season. Um, Thursday, February 11th, 2027. It's the NFL honors ceremony. For the first time in NFL history, two players co-win the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year award. What's crazier, though, is that they're two players from the same team. The juniors, as they've been dubbed, Will Anderson Jr. and Derek Stingley Jr., lead
oh,
an incredible defensive operation for the Texans, whose offense is constantly failing them, and are rewarded for their elite defensive play multiple years in a row by both winning Defensive Player of the Year.
I like that one. Interesting. So it's kind of like almost a team award for their defense by respecting the two leaders. I think the only wrinkle in that is that they're going to be chomping at the bit to give it to Aaron Donald if he comes back. Like,
Oh.
it's just going to be some. When you said, I was like, okay, is it Myles Garrett and Jared Verse? Oh, is it Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald? So I actually think that would be a really cool moment if like no, all the like Rams hype got put away and they just actually honored two of the best defenders in the NFL. I like that one, and I could see it happening. Um,
And it's like I think I focus on the Texans because their defense is so good and their offense was so bad last year
yeah,
that it was really one-sided. And I feel like people are going to pay more attention to it this year because of it.
if they ended up like the one seed, I could totally see them and like
That would
win a
be
wild card game,
crazy.
like solely on the back of the defense. I think that's what would need to happen to really set up
Yeah,
this
yeah.
scenario.
This one
Um,
feels very far-fetched in terms of actually happening, um, but based enough in a really good defensive unit. So
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do you want to give your last one before I go into full silly season here?
yeah, I like this one. This is the first one I wrote. Friday, November 13th, 2026. 3 days after the NFL trade line. The date notoriously associated bad luck, Friday the 13th,
Mm.
finds the New England Patriots. While overseas in Munich, just before their game against the Lions, a recently acquired edge rusher, Max Crosby, fails his physical, causing the trade to get rescinded, and he flies back overseas by himself. Normally, he would have done this before, but with the international game, the team traveling early overseas, and a heated division rivalry with the Bills right on their tail, they thought we need to make this trade now and we need him to play in this game against this good Lions team. Alas, the trade does not go through again.
Wow. Wow. That would be crazy. That'd be one of the craziest stories in the league if he got rejected again. If I'm the Lions, I'm like, listen, Raiders, if you don't want to pay for that international flight, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting too because I don't think the Patriots have their 28 first. So, what does that package look like? It's gonna be interesting. Um,
I was thinking of good teams that needed an edge rusher still. That was the team that came to mind.
yeah,
And then
I
I
like
said,
it
when's
because
the
it's
trade deadline? And then I said, who do they play? Oh, they play the Lions. That's funny.
no, it's a good under the radar Crosby pick because it's a lot of Lions, Bears, but I think Patriots is if they're surging, if they're near the top of the league and they think this could be that last move to get them over the top, to
Very
complement.
like, very like almost because they were more successful in this last year, but like Colts Sauce Gardner trade kind of deal.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Very similar idea. Absolutely. Like we're better than we even thought we would be. Let's push it all in and try to add a blue chip guy who gets us over the top. Totally makes sense. Um, I like that one, and I'm glad it was about football because mine barely is at all.
Excellent. Let's hear it.
This is so stupid. For legal reasons, I'm going to say before I give this that
Oh God.
um, I'm not actually accusing any of the people named officially in this of any malfeasant behavior, but Fox Sports tapping new girl and the neighborhood alum Max Greenfield to replace David Cross as voice of AI picks on Fox NFL Sunday.
Oh, you're gonna have to give me the context of some of these people.
Stupid. Okay, so did you ever watch Arrested Development?
Barely. I remember
Um,
like Jason Bateman. That's like the only person I remember.
do you remember Tobias, the guy who like paints himself blue, who's like the brother-in-law?
I'm talking few episodes.
Okay. Did you ever watch any of the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies as a kid?
I probably.
You know David Cross. He's the
Is
bad
he the
guy in
dad?
that.
Oh.
No, he's the antagonist or whatever, the like
David
evil
Cross. No, I know
producer.
the name David Cross. I know the name.
Okay.
Is he bald?
Yeah, he's bald. He's got a bigger kind of
Yeah.
bushy beard now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah, yeah.
like oh
I know this name.
he was the sidekick in Megamind. He was the fish. Forgot about that.
Hmm.
Here's the thing. I actually think he's a very talented, funny guy. I don't know if he'll say or do anything untoward that would require this, but I had to picture an actor who I don't know. I feel like sometimes people say he says controversial things, and I was mostly just being funny. But I can totally envision Fox completely out of touch, rolling out a like, they do like Terry picks someone and Howie
Hmm.
Long picks someone and Gronk picks someone, and then at the end they have a little AI guy pick someone. I can totally see them adding that and then having it have a little voice where he's like, I think, or Terry's the Steelers, right? I think the Steelers have stolen their chances at winning as like a little dumb, stupid bit, right?
God.
Like I could just so clearly picture that, and then there's some sort of scandal with the AI voice, whoever it is, and so I just picked Schmidt
They
for
re
New
they
Girl.
re they replaced the AI
They have
voice.
to replace the actor who's voicing the AI on this just like
That's good.
complete dead end Garbo segment
That's
that
awesome.
no one cares about. Um, I just like I don't know. I Heed the Call really gets me into the broadcast side of the
Uh-huh.
NFL, and they talk a lot about how these shows are dead on arrival. Like no one's watching Fox NFL. Like I kind of like it just as like something to have in the background, but no one really cares about what they're
Hmm.
actually saying. And so this like grasping effort to be relevant that completely feels tone deaf, and then not only that, but there's complications with the people they bring in. It just feels very true to like the boardroom executive style of thinking.
This just gave me such a great onion idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was just thinking, like, and in order to increase revenue, NFL incorporates ads into the like coach interviews on the sidelines. When they're like, "Hey, that first quarter, like blah blah blah, how did that go?" Presented by. It's like a they do a whole ad read before they ask the question or something.
Um, yeah. Well, hey, what's the way you're going to spice up the second half defense presented by Old Spice? That's crazy. I
And then
thought
the
the
coach
coaches were
has to
going to have
like
to
say
use.
the ad
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah. I
That'd
like
be
Dan Campbell just
awesome.
being like, "Listen, they twisted us up like an Arby's curly fry, but we're going to bring the horsey sauce in the second half."
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be so good.
That's actually see, this is a good idea for something we should
Yeah.
do on another pod. Is like coach post game interviews in like week 7, but we have to put like a product in our description of how the team's doing or something. That'd be kind of a fun
Yeah.
activity. Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah. Man, it gets me excited. I do think one of the most fun things about the NFL is there's just like such a rhythm and just such like a sensibility to the way they do things, like the cadence of the sideline interview. It's all very
Hmm.
nostalgic, and as I near my 26th year, I just like to look back.
Yeah. And speaking of rhythm, NFL games, albeit preseason, have started. So we're going to try to get into a little more of a rhythm ourselves, probably, and start regularly producing these episodes. We got to talk about schedule. We got to talk about record predictions, awards, all that fun stuff over the next coming weeks before we kick off week one.
Yeah, next time we'll be able to give you our 2028 season preview. and um,
It will be double the length of this incredibly long episode.
yeah, I don't know if Damon processed that I was joking we wouldn't record for 2 more years. Um,
Oh, nope, didn't. Right over my head.
no, I knew it was a high risk. Yeah, no, I think
2028.
we're
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We're looking forward to. I think this is really when we started last time. It was kind of the looking at training camp and the offseason summary. Obviously, already hit that, and so yeah, maybe some record predictions, maybe some like what's one positive, one negative we think for the upcoming season for each team, something like that. Um, Maybe we can do it debate style where one of us has to be the optimist and one's the pessimist, and
Mm,
we come in the middle. I saw a similar show to that recently. I thought that was kind of a fun idea. Whatever it is, you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to enjoy it sooner than a month from now. That is for sure. The league itself about a month away from regular season action, and we can't wait. In fact, so much so, we got to practice our field goal. Damon, put
Oh,
up those uprights.
oh.
Woo! All
In
right.
the name of one of the mini kickers I forgot earlier.
Here's my Josh Lambo moment. My
Yes.
Randy Bullock
The Lambo Leap, but kick
Lambo.
version.
Yes, but also I hate the Packers. Fuck the Packers. Anyway,
True, true, true.
all right, kick is up.
Oh my God, right off the camera and back at you, so you know that that kick was good.